Well, hello, baseball fans, and thanks for tuning in to the Solano College Sports Network, where we're here inside the Bill Louise Yarbrough Stadium, where we got a great matchup today between your Solano Falcons and the opposing Yuba 49ers. I'm Stosh Samoda, your play-by-play announcer today, and I'm joined in the broadcast booth with two of my good friends, Mr. Mike McLeod and Brian Nelson. Guys, what is going on?
Well, I'm excited for today. It's a Meet the Crew Day here for us, SCSN. We're going to be going in and out. Brian's going to be starting off the first couple innings with us. Hi, Brian.
Hey, how's it going, you guys? Good to be back from a 9-day trip in Colorado for the National Speech and Debate Tournament. But it's good to be back with you guys. I missed you guys.
You know, we missed you too. After all the games we did, just the five of us, it's good to have a full crew out here. We're also going to be getting to a bunch of other people. Every half inning, we're going to be switching in and out people, getting to know the entire cast and crew, so you don't have to listen to just us. But what's important right now is the game between Solano and Yuba.
You know, it's game one of a three-game set between these two, and this is a pivotal point in the season for this Solano Falcon team. They haven't been playing their best baseball as of late, but they won the last game, and now they're trying to extend that winning streak to 2 games. So today they're going to have to rely on their pitcher, Nathan Jennis, to have a good outing against this Yuba team that is ferocious at the plate.
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to whether or not their hitting can live up to the pitching of Yuba. On the mound for Yuba today, Tyler Sharp rocking a 1.94 ERA. This kid is wicked. Out under a 1.2 whip, it's ridiculous. But coming up first, the leadoff hitter for Yuba, Ryan Pope, the designated hitter.
There goes Ryan Pope, Dallas Cummings, and Hayden Leisman.
Ryan Pope.
So that'll be the 3 batters you'll first see in this inning. And so it looks like Pope's squaring on a bunt, just as going to see it pitched. And that's a ball high. Count goes 1-0. That's one of those, you put the bat out there. And
just to see what happens to that with the fielders.
And it's a little shot down the right first base line, and Trevor Faulkner's over to get it. So that is out number 1 on 2 pitches.
There's a lot of strangeness out in the field today for Solano. David Fernandez, usually we see him in the infield. He's in center today.
Yeah.
Bobby Contreras, he's playing second. Brandon Mihalic, he's at short. Trevor Faulkner, he's at first.
And then that's a ball
Anthony
high.
Morris is the designated hitter. Eric Olson behind the dish. Everybody who you normally see, with the exception of Alvaro Rubalcaba, he's at short. I'm sorry. Brandon Mihalic is at third.
And that pitch is a little low and outside. Can't get the call. Count goes to 2-0. And it's very interesting to see both these two Yuba hitters just square on the bunt. They're trying to make him throw a strike. And that ball catches the top end of the strike zone. That's strike 1. Count goes 2-1.
So, Brian, how are you doing today?
I am wonderful. It's really good to be back. It's actually interesting to actually watch the game from here instead of behind the TriCaster. It's an interesting view. I'm really excited to see how Solano does against Yuba.
There's no jet lag, no overlap between the national championship and coming here?
Well, we came back early Sunday morning, got a chance to sleep in, so I'm rested up, ready for this game.
And Nathan Jennis catches the outside part of the corner. Count goes full. So he needs to come back and strike right here. He kicks and fires. And that's a ball high. So it's a walk to Dallas Cummings. So now they run on first and is bringing up their 3-hitter, Hayden Leisman. And this guy is a beast, guys.
Yeah, I mean, on the year, he's not doing too terrible at the plate. Since conference started, he's hitting .442.
Wow. And 1 bomb.
Yeah.
So this guy packs a little punch. And Cummings leads off of first base. Checks the runner over. He kicks and fires. Runner's on the move. It's a swing. He throws it down. And he stops. And they have him in a pickle between first and second. Over to Faulkner. Faulkner to Bobby Contreras. And they make the out. So that is out number 1.
Got a pretty good jump, but he just didn't have confidence in himself, I guess.
You know, it was supposed to be a hit and run. And looked like Hayden just missed the pitch there and kind of left him high and dry.
So anyway, back to the Nationals. They were in Denver this year.
Yep.
That was kind of fun. That must have been fun for you.
Yeah, interesting sights and smells. But it's definitely a fun tournament. And
heard you had a little success.
Yeah, I didn't do too badly. I got a bronze medal in speech to entertain. speech that allows you to do an academic speech, but allows you to incorporate jokes in it and make it's a very crowd-friendly type of event. And I got a bronze medal in that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Bronze medal in the nation. That's what, like top 12 or whatever?
Yeah, that's a top 15.
Top 15?
Top type of medal, and it's really stiff competition, competing against everybody in the entire nation. A lot of funny people out there. Okay.
Careful.
I
Careful.
ducked there. Yep, that was 3D television. Was not ready for that.
And that was fouled back straight and almost took off Brian's head.
Like I
So
said, I'm used to the TriCaster, not used to the live action.
He's getting Vietnam flashbacks.
Ah.
just missed the outside corner. The count goes full to Hayden Leisman. So Nathan Genist, one pitch away from going into the dugout unscathed. Big swing and a miss, strike three, 1-2-3 inning, and we're heading to the bottom of the first. So bottom of the first, due up for the Falcons, the leadoff hitter Alvaro Rubalcaba, followed by Bobby Contreras and David Fernandez. That rounds off the top
bottom of the
here.
first for Solano. Shortstop.
Alvaro Rubalcaba, since conference play began, hitting .321. So the bats are starting to come alive for Solano here.
You know, that's what you like to see. You know, Solano struggled early part of the year, you know, trying to find the bat and hit the ball, but now they're really starting to come into their own. First pitch is a low ball. Count goes 1-0. Rubalcaba squared around there just to see a pitch.
So you had some success, Brian, but also there were some others, a couple from our crew, I believe, and also Amanda Lamb.
Yes, Amanda Lamb, who had a lot of success at the state tournament, getting low cum in both informative speaking and persuasive speaking.
And for those of you that don't know, low cum is basically like first place.
Yeah, she's the best of the best. So she was the best speaker, informative, and persuasive in the state of California. Went to the national tournament, duplicated that success there in persuasive speaking. She is the top speaker in persuasive speaking in the nation.
Well, there you go. We're proud to have her here at Solano.
Such a good representative.
Foul that one down the left field line. Count goes 2-2.
Very proud of her. And one of our debate teams, Antoinette Shirley and Alice Hoover, got silver. And Alice as well got bronze in persuasive speaking.
And he flares this one into right field. It looks like it could be trouble for Hayden. And he gets over and makes a catch, and that is out number one. So this is going to bring up the second baseman, Bobby Contreras. Bobby's been coming on of late.
Now batting, second baseman, number 3.
Yeah, Bobby Contreras. He's hitting .244, but he does have 9 walks in the last 15 games. So
it doesn't show all the sacrifice bunts he does.
Yeah, that's true.
This guy knows how to lay down a bunt. Unselfish player, and that's the type of player his Coach Stover loves to have on his team. But this guy, Tyler Sharp, doesn't look so sharp so far. He's leaving some pitches up. And smoked down the third base line, but is scooped by Rory Peterson, kicks and fires. And what a great play by Rory Peterson. Laid out for that one to get the speedy Bobby Contreras at first and for out number 2.
Now batting.
So now
center
coming to
fielder,
the plate,
number 2, David
center
Fernandez.
fielder David Fernandez. We used to see him play in the middle infield position, but he's in.
David Fernandez hitting an astounding .393 since conference play started. Just absolutely ridiculous.
And that ball's high for ball 1.
So it looks like Leisman isn't the only hot hitter since
Pretty
conference
much,
play
yeah.
started.
24 for 61, 11 runs scored,
And that
9
ball's
stolen bases.
Count goes 2-0. Yeah, you know, Fernie had a little bit of rough start to the season and preseason, struggled a lot, struck out a lot, but now he's really finding his groove in the box. And he pokes this one over to right center field, and Hayden Leisman is over to catch it, and that will end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, head into the top of the second. So top of the second inning, due up for the Yuba 49ers, Peter Daly, Ryan Glazner, and Justin Noreen. So
Now batting.
the power
Catcher,
hitters are coming up
Peter
here for the
Daly.
Yuba team. So it's going to be a good test for Nathan Jennis to see what type of stuff he's bringing to the mound today.
Yeah, Peter Daly hitting 304 on the year, 327 in conference play. So he's a big boy. He can hit well. He has a bomb on the year, 13 RBIs, 14 runs scored. He can at least a 3-4 hitter.
And that's a strike on the outside corner. Count goes 1-1 to Peter Daly.
That seems to be a common thing with Yuba hitters. There's 6 players on their roster with the home run, and many have multiple RBIs on the year.
Yeah, they're third in the conference in home runs scored, or home runs. They have 9 on the year.
And a big curveball from Nathan Jennis, just swept out a little bit outside. Didn't get the call there, so the count goes 2-1. And that's a strike on the inside part of the plate. Count goes 2-2.
So Brian, you're a baseball fan.
Yeah.
You I believe are with the Red Sox.
Yes.
You're a Red Sox fan.
I'm a Red Sox fan to the dismay of.
Big curveball, strike 3 called. Sit him down. Good pitch from Nathan Jennis.
To the dismay of much of my family who are Giants fans, but like I say, I grew up a Red Sox fan.
I like the Red Sox personally.
I'm
No.
glad you like winners.
Left field.
I like winning too.
Glazner.
I just like every time the Yankees lose. So
So Ryan
I love that
Glazner,
too.
2 home runs on the year so far. And he watches this pitch outside for ball 1.
So speech and debate team for you. You're also obviously in this class, the sports broadcasting class. How much carryover is there between sports broadcasting and speech and debate?
Well, obviously, speaking is a very important part in both roles. One of the things that speech and debate has taught me is preparation of how to speak.
And
As we all know, we have to do a lot of pre-production here, and that's much the same thing as speech. There's a lot of rehearsal. There's a lot of repetition.
and that ball's low. Count goes 2-2.
So those skills of just preparation and using your time before you actually have to speak to help your speech is very critical in both aspects.
Yeah, and there's also, as that ball gets away from Eric Olson, there's a lot of impromptu stuff. There's a lot of changing on the fly, 15 minutes, half an hour to rehearse, and we do a lot of that here as well, as much as Poff probably doesn't want us to say that.
And strike on the right on the inside part of the plate for the second-looking strikeout from this Yuba team. And Nathan
Now
Jennis coming out strong.
First
3
baseman,
straight strikeouts from him.
Justin Noreen.
And now brings up the big boy, number 33, Justin Noreen, the first baseman.
Justin Noreen not doing the best at the plate, only hitting 161. And so far, every hitter for Yuba has squared around a bunt until the beginning of the release.
Yeah, a little bit of a slash, as it's called.
I never liked doing that growing up.
You know, in Little League,
It throws off my timing.
in Little League, it actually helped my time. I used to do it a lot. I was known for it. Whew, big swing and a miss from Justin. That count goes to 1-1. You know, really learned to really get my hands back and find the timing and the release point, and then after that, it's very helpful. But to do it through your whole lineup,
Yeah.
not quite too sold on that. Ooh, curveball. And Justin fouls this one back.
So, Brian, why did you join the class?
That's an interesting story. It was really on a whim. I was ready to transfer out of Solano with a degree. I have my AA in psychology.
Congratulations.
And thank you. I was ready to transfer over to UC Davis, but my speech teacher, she saw something in me and she recommended me for the speech team. And I joined on the spring semester, and I just completely fell in love with the activity. It was just something that it really fulfills something that I've had throughout most of my life. I've done theater growing up, so performing aspects that really fulfilled that sort of
high
part of my
fly
life.
ball. Bobby Contreras is camped under. He calls it, and he squeezes it for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down, and we're heading to the top of the third. Bottom of the second. So bottom of the second, Nick Perez, Brandon Mihalich, and Trevor Faulkner will be coming to the plate for the Solano Falcons.
There are a lot of big boys up this inning. Nick Perez, Brandon Halich, Trevor Faulkner, Jacob Pavlovsky, either leading off the third inning or possibly up this inning if anybody were to reach. And
You know, like I've been saying all year, Nick Perez has been hitting the cover
Yeah.
off the ball. He just hasn't been finding the holes and been hitting it right at somebody. But like I told him a couple days ago, just keep hitting the ball hard and he'll find
he's
it.
hitting 308. He's got a 379 on base percentage, 500 slugging. So,
Wow.
yeah. Boy can hit.
First pitch takes a hack at it and just rolls down the first baseline, foul.
That slugging percentage is even more impressive considering he has no home runs on the year. So he has a lot of doubles and a lot of,
Yeah,
He
he
must
has
have hit
he
a
has
2 triples, 1 triple.
he has 6 doubles and 2 triples.
yeah.
And that pitch is inside for ball number 1.
And that's just in conference play. That's not talking about what he did during the preseason.
He's batting .319 overall this year. Oh, and he turns on that one, and he hits that thing a mile, but out of play.
Somewhere Lonnie is shaking his head. As you know, as everybody is probably aware, we have a little bet going every game that we broadcast. Who's going to hit a home run? Lonnie picked Nick Perez, and his eyes lit up on that one, but just too foul.
And that ball's in the dirt. Count goes 2-2.
Can only imagine the camera just zooming in on the ball and then just disappointment as it goes foul.
Probably shook the camera himself,
Oh,
like,
no.
oh, mm-mm.
And he fouls this one back. Stays alive. Count stays at 2-2.
So, Brian, you're usually the production manager. You usually, like you said, on the production side of things in front of the TriCaster. You've also done a couple of basketball games. What do you like more?
You know, I have a special relationship with the TriCaster. That's definitely where I first started, and I love switching between camera angles. I never thought I would, but now whenever I watch like a Warriors game or a Giants game, I definitely notice the camera shifts, and it's just a different aspect of viewing a game, and it's really interesting. But obviously, I like to talk. I do that for a hobby,
Yeah,
speech and debate. So
almost a living.
yeah, so just need to get paid for it.
Oh, and that pitch hits him. So Solano has a leadoff walk as Nick Perez is hit by the pitch.
Now, come to think of it, I have been paid for it to do some of the basketball calling.
PA?
Yeah, PA announcing.
Well, there you go. Up steps Brandon Mihalich
Third baseman.
at
Number
third
14,
today.
Brandon Mihalich.
Brandon Mihalich hitting 13 for 37, a 351. So Stover sacrificing some defense for offense here, just in this whole lineup.
Hey, well, we're coming up against this Yuba team is hitting the whole team just hitting very well so far this year.
I mean, statistically, they're hitting the same percentage, but it's just within 3 or 4 guys that are bringing that percentage up at Yuba.
Oh, and he bunts a high fastball, and it's going to be foul.
And I think that was actually a break for Solano because the catcher caught it in his hand, was ready to throw to second.
You know, that's one of those you have to lay off because he's lucky he got the ball, his bat up and got the bat head down on the ball. Otherwise, it would have popped up, and Nick Perez would have been left out high and dry over at first base. Squares around the bunt again and throw over, and nothing going over there. Nick gets back safely.
I think as a rule of thumb with bunting, you really don't want to, when you put your bat at the top of the zone, you really don't want to go up because that's the danger zone.
I was always taught, put it at your letters and never go above it.
I like that.
Lays down a beautiful bunt. Nick Perez is going to get over to second base, so Brandon Mihalich gets the job done. So Solano now has a runner on second with 1 out, and it brings up the big boy, Trevor Faulkner. Turned down for what, Michael?
I love his walk-up song. Walk-up song of the year.
Now batting.
He's my favorite player on the team
44.
just because of his walk-up song.
So let's see what Trevor can do here. He has a runner in scoring position. Solano could use a little confidence booster here and get on the board early.
Trevor Faulkner hitting 368.
That ball is low. Kind of goes 1-0 to Faulkner. You know, he can turn on one. He has the power. It's just, let's see if Tyler Sharp makes a mistake.
So, Brian, how does this class, the sports broadcasting class, live up to what your expectations were going into the class originally?
Well, initially, I had no idea about the TriCaster setup. I've heard the stories now of last baseball season, pre-TriCaster.
Stosh is having flashbacks.
Yeah, sorry, Stosh, you're just
don't
shaking.
bring that up.
Okay.
It was miserable.
But I can say it's far surpassed my expectations of just seeing the skill that all of our Solano teams have. I had no idea about the women's basketball team, how wonderful they were. Just doing all sorts of sports I never would have watched before. Just gives me an appreciation for all the things that Solano has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't usually spend a Thursday afternoon watching the baseball team.
And a balk is called. The pitcher did not come set, so Nick Perez finds himself on third base.
Oh, wow. You bring that up every once in a while, quick pitchers, and they don't come fully set. And thankfully,
That's exactly what happened right there. He just rolled right through.
yeah, Joe Chipineri on that one. Joe Chipineri, the home base umpire. Ron Barnes in the field. Doing a great job so far.
You usually can get away with it because sometimes umpires are looking at the runners and they each have their own thing. So see here, now he came set. Still a little quick, but Trevor Faulkner rips this one into right center field, and it's over the head of Hayden Mayhew-Leisman. And Trevor Faulkner is on his horse, and he's going to have himself a stand-up double as Nick Perez comes around the score. Solano takes the lead 1-0.
And he got a hold of that ball. That was hit on a rope. And now up steps the hammer in Hebrew,
Jacob
Pavlovsky. He's in right field today for Darian Evans. And he is a big boy. He is an intimidating man.
Yes, he is. Every time I talk to him, I got to look up. My neck gets a little bit of a cramp, But, he's a smart hitter. He's also a relief pitcher, so he knows kind of the mentality of he has the mentality of a pitcher, I would say, because he is a pitcher.
Definitely a chess match when you're up at the plate, when you know what the pitcher's thinking because you've been in that situation before.
Exactly. And that pitch is outside for ball number 1. But Faulkner, solid pitch. He was in a 2-0 count, and, that's a hitter's count. It was something on the outside, a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and he didn't let that one go with the pitch. Excellent piece of hitting by him.
So what are your plans for the future, Brian?
Well, next year I definitely want to stay on with the Solano College Sports Network and help out here. I really like the improvement we've made in just 2 semesters. So definitely want to stay around, help with the success, help grow this program.
Yeah, we're hoping to get live soon.
Yeah.
Get some instant replay. We're going to buy that this summer.
Be careful with replay, though, in baseball. It's a hot topic nowadays. And next year also I'm going to come back and help a volunteer coach with the speech and debate program. So use what I've learned from my coaches, pass it on to a relatively new team, considering it looks like we only are going to have 1 returning member from this year's squad.
Yeah, but you're going to have Stosh and myself on the team, more than likely. So
groom you to be just like me. And
I don't know. I mean, as much as you eat a lot of meat, and I aspire to do that one day.
Pavlovsky just swung over a curveball there. Count goes to 2-2.
You can do well in the speech to entertain. Mike, you're pretty funny.
I'm just funny looking.
I remember volleyball, you were telling Ashley how funny you were every single time.
Because she didn't believe me.
I know.
And he smokes this one into right field. And they're going to hold Trevor Faulkner over at first base. And Jacob Pavlovsky finds himself a single. So runners on first and third, 1 out. And up steps Eric Olson, the catcher.
And so 2 straight hitters going oppo, going to the opposite field, going with the pitch. It's a good sight to see. A lot of hitters when they're in a slump, and this entire team has kind of been in a slump. They're only 6-9 in conference play. You see a lot of people try to pull the ball, and they roll over it, and they get on top of it, and it's a slow roller to third or short. Now they're just letting the ball get back in the zone, going where it is, and they're finding success.
They're driving the ball. They're not, like you're saying, they're not just flicking out. They're not just trying to push it that way. They're sitting it. They're reading the pitch, letting that ball come in, and pushing it out to right field, making good, solid contact there. As you see, the mound visit is broken up by the umpire behind the plate.
Yeah, there's still nobody in the bullpen, so this is still his show.
Now batting.
So
Catcher.
Well, he's only given up 1 run. He's 1 pitch away from a ground ball. Don't get out of it, but Eric Olson.
That meeting was probably just saying, hey, look, it's still your show. Go out there and get them. It's okay. You're only one run in, like you were just saying. So
Nothing's hurt. Still early in the game's only the second inning. First time through the
a
lineup.
warm day today.
Light breeze, not too bad, but a beautiful spring day here at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium. Time is called by Eric Olson. So Tyler Sharp, he came in with a 1.94 ERA on the year. And that's, as you see there, the fake throw to third, trying to get him at first, which is now illegal in Major League Baseball.
And you make a point of saying that almost every game.
Yeah,
because it happens every single game.
Exactly. And the pitch, and Olsen fists this one, and it's going to look Michael Francis back, and he's under it, so that is out number 2. Just got jammed there a little bit, Mike.
Speaking of the third to first play that's not illegal, you know what I want to see become illegal? The high step and then back to second. It feels like a balk to me.
No, as long as your knee stays straight and you don't advance towards the mound, you could spin.
It's still a weird move.
I like it.
Well, I mean, I like this move. It's still illegal. It's still clever.
You can't jump and turn and get the guy out at first.
Why not? You're rising up and making the person think you're going somewhere you're not.
Big curveball.
It's the same
This
principle.
is why I want them to debate, and I'm so glad they're going to be on the debate team next year. See?
But now we have to be on the same team.
Exactly, but that just covers a wide array of topics. You don't have to agree necessarily with your partner as long as you're on the same page and present the same story. You can debate about a bunch of different things.
Another curveball to Anthony Morris called for strike 2.
Anthony Morris, the curveball has kind of been his kryptonite. He hits the straight ball very far.
As the words of Pedro Solano.
There you go. I couldn't think of his name. I was thinking of
Joe
Jobu.
Jobu. And there, high and tight for ball number 1. Count goes at 1-2.
So are you glad to be back, Brian? I know you said you were, but are you really?
No, I am really. You have no idea. Day 2 of Colorado, I was ready to be back in California. And it's
Had Nationals even started yet? Like, had the actual tournament started?
It had not.
Curveball fouls off down the right field line.
I still had 2
Out of
days to prepare to do practice and to get ready for the actual tournament. And actually, those 2 days of practice really helped me focus my mind in. We kind of had some off days to explore, and I was ready to come back. Wasn't too thrilled with the altitude. That is no joke, folks. Altitude.
Well, they don't call it the Mile High City for nothing.
Yeah.
No, there's multiple reasons.
Back down over. Nope, Jacob Pavlovsky gets back in safely, so the count goes 2-2.
Tell me. So many puns about Mile High. Just will not make them tonight. Or this afternoon. Not tonight.
You don't have to make them tonight either.
No.
Or the next day. I was getting tired of him just talking about the Super Bowl.
So Anthony Morris.
Staying alive.
Yeah, battling off a couple tough pitches here. And the bottom of the second, Solano up by 1. Runners on the corners.
And you'd like to see Solano break this game open a little bit, at least get 1 run in, maybe 2, keep this rally alive. Because they don't do well in 1-run games. We found that out.
Trying to backpick, and Pavlovsky's hung out there, and he is thrown out. That will end the inning. So 1 run scores for Solano, heading to the top of the third.
Top of the third, and we say goodbye to Brian Nelson. We bring in the big dog, Denzel Carter. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's kind of warm. I'm a little bit sunburnt already, even though I'm under the shade. But
right. You got the fun job, man. I'm out there in the heat.
It's not. It can't be that bad, can it?
Nah, it's a good day, a great day for baseball. I'm loving it.
Dustin Macaluso at the plate.
Ooh, dirty curveball from Nathan Jettis right there. Just totally froze Dustin Macaluso at the plate. Count goes to 0-2. And he fouls this one back to stay alive.
So, Denzel, tell me a little bit about yourself and why you joined this class.
Man, I was just thinking of classes that I could sign up for that I would be interested in. And you know, for sports broadcasting, I was like, man, I want to do this for a career. So I found out that the class was here, and I saw the opportunity, and I took it. this is great practice.
So it's a ground ball to Brandon Mihalich. He picked up and threw
Not bad.
over to Trevor
Shortstop,
Faulkner to get
Michael
Dustin
France.
Macaluso over at first. So that's out number 1. Now coming to the plate is Michael France, the shortstop.
Yeah, and so you were the sideline reporter during the basketball season. How did you enjoy that?
Man, it was so much fun. It was crazy. Greg Pop was like, man, what do you want to do for this class? I was like, I want to be like Craig Sager. And so he made it happen, and I enjoyed it. The experience was great. I hope I can do it professionally one day.
And a little assist to me for that one,
Yeah,
because
big boss
you were a
dog.
little timid to do it.
I was, but you helped me out, and my man Stosh over here, great support. I love you guys. I love it.
You're actually one of my favorite people in the class because you always
Hey.
not one of. There's only like 10 people in the class.
Ooh, and the curveball hit him on the 1-1 count. But if you want to get hit by something, get hit by a curveball. That doesn't hurt.
Now batting.
And
third baseman,
because
Rory
before every
Peterson.
basketball broadcast, you'd come up and you'd say, "All right, good luck, guys. I'll be with you later." And I enjoyed that. I don't know about Stosh here, but I found it kind of invigorating. I know that's a big word for you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I missed that. I was keeping stats over here. What was that?
How Denzel would always come
yeah.
say good luck to us right before the broadcast.
Oh, yeah, before every broadcast comes
Yeah.
over, show some love. Runners going. Nope, held off, so that ball is out and away for ball number 1 to Rory Peterson, third baseman.
And also just your consistency. I mean, you're here every day with us. All these other guys, a lot. That's the one thing about having the speech team is in the spring, you don't see a lot of them. But you've been here. And, I mean, that just shows to your consistency and your actual drive to do this.
No,
It
thank
looks
you,
like-
man. If you find something you like, you just have to stick to it. And you told me, you got to show the teacher that you're the first one to come in and the last one to leave. So
That's
I'm
right.
trying my best.
Michael France, they picked over, and he just got hit right in the thigh again. So looks like Nathan Jennings doesn't like him too much. Just keeps hitting him with the ball.
I don't like him either. His name has a Z in it. Denzel does have a Z in it.
In foul
Never mind.
territory, Faulkner's coming in. He calls it. He squeezes it for out number 2.
So you're more of the basketball mind, Denzel.
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Y-
do.
y- don't you have a scholarship?
Ryan
Yes, I do.
Pope.
To Oregon. Actually.
Oregon?
Yeah,
Oregon or Oregon State?
Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. I thought it was Oregon State. Yeah. Oh, I love Oregon. I love Oregon basketball. I love Oregon football. But you
show
need to
you.
get me into one of those games.
I will. Come on, man. The whole sports network is getting in for free. Courtside, I need somebody to broadcast me.
Yeah, definitely. And Oregon's a good school.
It's a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to it.
Did you play here at Solano?
No, I did not.
So then how did that come about? How did that scholarship happen?
It happened my freshman year. I went to San Diego State, and
Okay.
then they got in contact with the Oregon coach. So I came out here to boost my GPA before I would leave again. So actually, I got a second scholarship, and I'm gonna see where that goes from there next year.
Well, there you go. That's one way to do it. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
Congratulations to you, Denzel.
Thank you. You
Yeah.
guys make this look so easy down here, man. Sheesh.
Big curveball over to Brandon Mihalich. Scoops it up, throws it over to first, and that will end the inning. No
Well-
runs scored, 1 left on base, and we're heading to the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, Brian's back with us
Oh,
just
yeah.
for the half inning
Yeah.
until we find the next guy to come up.
So it's bottom of the 3rd. Anthony Morris will come up to the plate again. He worked a 2-2 count, kept battling, saw a lot of pitches in this last
Now
inning.
batting.
Jacob
PA,
Pavlowski
number
was
8,
back picked over
Anthony
at
Morris.
first base to end the inning. So Anthony's going to get a second crack at his first at bat. Kind of funny there.
Haha.
Haha.
You're a funny man, Stosh.
First pitch, foul back to the backstop.
And-
Count
and-
goes to 0-1.
And Anthony Morris was in a battle.
Yeah.
He was absolutely in a battle. So to come back and have a fresh count, that has to be an advantage for Anthony Morris.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of pitches from Tyler Sharp, and especially in your first at bat, you want to see as many pitches as possible. For your second, third at bat, you kind of have a feel what the guy's going to throw to you. And he over swings at a good changeup from Tyler Sharp. Count goes to 0-2.
So, Brian, how do you feel about Denzel? Because I didn't get to talk to him too much. He was only up for a half inning. And so what were your thoughts on him?
What I like about Denzel is that every time he speaks with more confidence.
Yeah.
For the first time he did the sideline report, he would say one thing, and then he'd throw it back up to you guys. But then more and more, especially when we went on the road to that playoff game, he definitely took hold. He went inside the huddle in enemy territory, and he really had the confidence.
And swinging strike 3, Anthony Morris is out for the first out of the inning. Good pitch by Tyler Sharp to make him chase. And it's going to bring up Alvaro Rubalcaba, the leadoff hitter, shortstop.
Number 6.
He flew out
Rubalcaba.
to the right fielder in his first at bat. But, you know, he saw about 5-6 pitches from Tyler Sharp, so he should have a good idea of what he's throwing today. And that pitch is high and tight for ball 1.
And I told Denzel you can't be intimidated. You can't be scared to be intrusive when you're a sideline reporter, because that's basically what you're doing. You're coming up and you're saying, hey, let me ask you about how you played, what you're doing. And no coach wants to really talk about what they're doing until after the game's over.
Just look at Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
No coach really wants to do it. But if you're insistent enough.
Right up the middle. Good hit by Alvaro Rubalcaba. So 1 out, runner on first, and it's going to bring up Bobby Contreras to the plate. Rubalcaba saw a fastball a little bit on the outside part of the plate, but like you said, he drove it right over the pitcher's head. Good piece of hitting.
Baseman, number 3.
So up steps Bobby Contreras.
He grounded out towards the third baseman. It was a hot shot down the line, and Rory Peterson made a great diving stop and get up to throw him out. And, you know, Bobby's a pretty quick runner. You know, he's known, he has a little speed on him. A little short guy. I wouldn't say short, but
He's slightly less than average.
Justin Pedroia-esque.
I guess.
There we go. Squares around the bunt, lays down a beautiful bunt, and he's got some wheels, and he is going to be safe.
And you talked about how great he was at laying down a bunt, and when you put it, when the third baseman's not crashing and you put it on the left side of the infield, you have a good chance of being safe at first.
But you know what was nice? His first at bat, he hit the hot shot down the third base line, so he kind of backed up a little bit, wasn't expecting the bunt, and he laid down. It was kind of a slash bunt, a drag bunt, just laid it down, got over to first, and so runners on first and second, and the three-hitter David Fernandez is coming to the plate.
Yeah, and one more thing, even better, the pitcher is right-handed, so he was falling off the plate away from the ball, had to take even more time to get back to it, and ended up rushing it, dropped the ball, didn't even make a play.
So Peter Daly's going out to talk to Tyler Sharp, calm him down a little bit. He's trying to really overthrow that last pitch there, as you see. And David Fernandez, one of the hottest hitters on Solano's team right now. Guy you definitely want to have at the plate.
As you noted, Stosh, earlier in the game, it looks like Tyler Sharp doesn't exactly have his sharpest stuff in the dual shed. So let's see if Fernandez.
Yeah, it's Fernandez.
Fernandez can take advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, he's already at 45 pitches as Tyler Sharp. It's only the third inning. So, I mean, ideally you want to have, at least in the majors from what I hear, 15 pitches an inning, but there's nobody out here in the top of the third. So
one out.
Oh, there is one out.
One
I'm sorry.
Out, yep. So 2-0 count to David Fernandez. And that ball's low and in the dirt. Count goes to 3, you know.
Think Fernandez has a green light here, Stosh?
Nope. I think the guy prove that he can throw a strike. He hasn't thrown anywhere.
Fernandez has a good eye. He might have the light just to say, hey, swing if it looks good.
But you know what? You have Nick Perez coming up behind you, and that guy has been hitting hot all year. Hits the ball hard. And there it is, a strike right on the outside part of the plate. But you can't do that because if you swing at a pitch, it may look good, and you just roll over and get under it, then you ruin a perfect opportunity for your team here. So
definitely gotta have trust in your team is behind you to pick you up. You know.
Now in a 3-1 count, he's looking for that one pitch, one spot to really drive it. And that ball is low for a walk. So now the bases are loaded for these Falcons. And as we said, Nick Perez coming up to the plate. And he was hit by the pitch in his last at bat and wound up coming around to score on the double by Trevor Faulkner.
Nick Perez.
So, Brian, what's your favorite sport? Is it baseball?
It depends. What are you asking? To watch or to play?
Watch, to play, to broadcast? What is it?
Okay. See, favorite sport to watch is football.
Okay.
Definitely.
And he's hit by the pitch again. The run will come in to score. So 2 at-bats for Nick Perez, and he's hit by the pitch twice.
And it walks in a run, even more importantly.
That's a pretty good day for Nick Perez. 0 for 0, 2 hit by pitches and an RBI.
And a run scored?
Yeah.
If you can get an RBI and a run scored without an actual at-bat,
Yeah.
you're doing something correctly.
So Brandon Mihalich steps up to the plate. He had a beautiful sacrifice bunt in the bottom of the second inning, which put Nick Perez over to second base. But with bases loaded here, look for him to swing away. And he swings at the first pitch and is fouled down the left field line, and it's in no man's land. They're not going to get it for a long strike one.
So like you were saying, favorite sport is to watch is football. I think that's kind of the American thing to do.
Yeah. Favorite sport to play is actually basketball.
Yep.
A little bit
You're
better
correct.
of a shooter.
You made a couple of half-court shots during halftime of some of the ladies' games.
Yeah, that's a very cool thing that Solano does. Let some audience to come onto the court.
I think we actually started that because there wasn't a lot. There was like some 3- and 4-year-olds going out, but
yeah,
we'd go out there and we'd start shooting around, and then people would start jumping up. So
That's a hot.
trendsetters here at Solano College Sports Network.
And the coach is coming out to talk with his pitcher. The bases loaded here. He's having trouble throwing strikes. He's just overthrowing the ball, and they got some action down in the bullpen.
a lefty down in the bullpen, number 22.
Number 22 is Michael Mendoza, and number 21.
21's just down there to spot.
Okay, cool.
To make sure it doesn't get hit.
Yeah, number 22.
You come
Michael
out.
Mendoza.
It's a 2-0 ball game. Still one pitch away from a double play getting out of the inning, but you can't let this game get away right now. need this
You're not
hitter.
seeing a lot of double plays hit. We haven't seen a lot of them hit so far, just this season.
But
So
in conference play for the Solano team, they're 10th with 6. They're hitting the 6 double plays, 13 overall in the season so far. So
yeah,
that's not a good number you like
No.
to see, but this is a different ball club than we're used to seeing.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of power in this lineup. I've said it before. I'll say it again. All the people that usually are the defensive rocks, they're not playing today. They're on the bench. They're giving some of the players that are hitting over 300 a chance to be a everyday player.
And he swings at a high fastball, goes back to the backstop. Count goes to 1-2. And their plate presence their eye at the plate has been very, very good so far in this game. They're not really swinging at a lot of strikes, balls out of the strike zone. They're looking for one pitch to hit, and they're getting that pitch.
Has to be very encouraging to see all the hitters go opposite field. A lot of the right-handers are hitting it to right center, to right field. It shows good play discipline.
And he fouls this one off down the left field, out of play.
Watch
Count
out,
stays
Pop's
at
truck.
1-2.
Yeah, he moves his truck from there. I don't think
Yeah.
it stays there all the time.
That was a good. He saw that. That could have been a strike there. Just reached out and just fouled back, looking for a better pitch to hit.
Yeah, and what I've noticed, there's a lot of pitches fouled off so far today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact number, but it just has an effect on his pitch count.
It's in double digits for
Yeah.
sure. Oh, and a swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout for Brandon Mihalich. Good changeup by Tyler Sharp, so the mound visit definitely helped him. But once again, Trevor Faulkner came up with a big double in the second, coming out to the plate here at bases loaded,
First
2
baseman,
outs.
number 44, Trevor Faulkner.
Trevor Faulkner's trying to make this a 6-0 ball game.
Yes, he is.
He's usually the designated hitter,
Keep
so-
the rally going,
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, home runs are kind of rally killers because I told you, he's taking hacks at it.
And that was a big swing and a miss. Just tipped it back, just foul. And he was looking to take that curveball deep, Mike.
Yeah.
You were right.
Like I was trying to say, he's usually the designated hitter. His job is to hit the ball, and there's been a couple of times where he's been asked to, lay down a sacrifice bunt, and with a guy his size, it's got to irk him a little bit. I don't care how much of a team mentality you have and how much of a selfless player you are. When you're built like he is, you want to hit the ball.
Oh, and he swings at a high fastball, and it's coming back to the backstop. It actually might hit us. And it's fouled back out of play. Doesn't hit us. So the count goes to 0-2.
It's the ones you don't see that freak you out.
Oh, we got a tarp above us. I think we're fine.
Yeah. It's just hope it's a thick tarp.
Nope.
Nope.
No? Okay.
No, it's not.
Do they have a 7-day concussion list for broadcasters? No?
That's a 15-day deal.
15-day deal.
Preferably not a 60-day deal. I'll have to come back with one of those new pitcher hats.
Oh, yeah.
So Tyler Sharp, ahead of the hitter, 0-2. One pitch away from getting out of this jam.
One pitch away from striking out the side.
And that ball is outside. Count goes 1-2.
And that's a good waste pitch because it's not completely a waste pitch. It's not one of those. Yeah, it's a chase pitch. Thank you. It's not one of those where you throw it and it hits the other side of the batter's mound, like where it's an easy take.
Yeah.
That was a hard take.
Something very hard to lay off. And that ball is dirty, and yes, he did, but the catcher grabbed it. He's going to step on home plate for out number 3. So 1 run comes across. They strand 3, heading to the top of the 4th.
Dallas Cummings.
All right, top of the 4th inning, and Dallas Cummings is doing the leadoff work here for the Yuba 49ers. He swings at the first pitch, and it's a fair ball, bounces over the bag, and he's getting on his horse and grounding. He's over to second base. Nick Perez in the corner picking it up, and they're waving him to third. Nick Perez, he holds up at second base. Good relay throw by Nick Perez, and Dallas Cummings has himself a stand-up double to lead off the top of the 4th.
So while all that was happening, we were getting Lonnie Thompson set up. How you doing, Lonnie?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm doing good.
So you're more of the baseball mind. You're along with Stosh. I like basketball. You like baseball. What's your favorite team?
The Giants.
Good. You are
San
correct.
Francisco Giants, man. That's all day.
So did you used to play? Did you used to play baseball?
I played growing up.
Okay.
From since I was like 7 years old, all the way up to about 13, 14 years old. So yeah, I love the game, man.
Yeah, I mean, we might need to get you on here. You kind of are.
And he lays down the bunt. Nathan Jennings comes out, fields it, throws it over to first. And he is safe. And Hayden Mahey-Laceman beats out, gets an infield single. So runners on first and third, no outs. And Yuba has something working here in the top of the 4th.
Catcher, Peter Daly.
And Peter Daly can now come into the plate, 304 on the year.
Yeah, so like I was trying to say, you're kind of our rover. Like, you do everything around here. We started you off as a cameraman, and then you were like, you know what? I want to do the TriCaster. What made you decide, like, to go and do that?
Yeah, man. I was just trying to get in and trying to learn pretty much everything that you guys do. Try to, boost my experience doing all this stuff with the broadcasting, man. It's pretty good, experience, and it's fun. And, yeah, so I'm dabbling in everything, man.
Hey, did you think you want to do one of these broadcasts? Do the play-by-play?
I'm thinking about it. I might.
You can take my spot. You can do this with Stosh.
The Lonnie and Stosh show.
There we go. And he checks the runners. Nobody going. Count stays at 0-1. Peter Daly, catcher.
So what made you decide to join this class?
Oh, man, I'm going to be a sports writer. So
Sports writer.
I'm in here for journalism. And so when I saw that there was a class to where I can
It's foul back. Trevor Faulkner in foul territory going back, catches it. The runner's coming home. Oh, he faked. He definitely faked me out.
take me out too.
You can only have your eyes on one thing at once, so it already stopped.
So that's a big out for Nathan Jennings. Now 1
Left
out with
fielder,
runners on the corners,
Ryan
but it
Glazner.
brings up Ryan Glazner, the leading home run hitter on this Yuba 49er team.
So what made you decide to want to be a sports writer?
Yeah. I love sports, man. I love giving my opinions, love writing about it. I'm a good writer, so I felt it all, came together being a sports writer, so I figured this was the perfect class to be in, to actually come out and actually watch some games and actually get credit to do what I like to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, I grew up, and one of my reasons for joining this class was I always grew up listening to Dick Vitale and John Madden and Marv Albert.
Right.
Do you have a favorite sports writer that you like to read every time you write
sports
something?
writer, I'm gonna say Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless? Okay.
I'm a Skip fan. I know he gets a lot of bad publicity, but I'm a Skip fan. Pablo Astori is another person I look at, and I read a lot of his stuff. Growing up, though, I mean, Crook and Kite, though.
Mm-hmm. Crook and Kite.
Man, listening to them call a Giants game, that makes you just want to be involved in anything, broadcasting, writing, sports. It just makes you want to get into it, man. So
I'd have to say that Ray Fosse and Glenn Kuiper are way better. They know their baseball. Oh. good heads-up call by Bobby Contreras to tell his pitcher to step off, not allowing him to get a good jump. So they're kind of toying with Nathan Genist over off first base.
Yeah, listen to Dwayne Kuiper when there's a home run call. Oh, it gives me chills every time he does it.
How did he hear you? It's great.
The Brandon Crawford splash hit,
Yeah, the home run.
the home run.
Days ago, yeah.
Oh, he knew it was gone. Everybody knew it was gone.
It
It
was
just
gone. I was watching that game.
gives me
and,
goosebumps. No, he's a good broadcaster.
Yeah, he is.
Not just because it was the Giants, just
They're
objectively.
homers. They're definitely homers.
Well, every regional broadcast is homers.
Listen to Glenn Kuiper and Ray Fossey. They're not homers.
That's because they're used to.
Big swing and a miss, and that's a huge strikeout for Nathan Genist. That is the second out of the inning, and they'll bring up Justin Noreen, the first baseman.
Now batting, first baseman, Justin Noreen.
And that's Glazner's second strikeout of the day. Justin Noreen flew out to his third baseman, and his first at-bat in the top of the second inning.
So, Lonnie, what else do you like to do other than this? Other than this and watching sports.
Sports, man. I breathe this, man. This is what I love to do, and this is what I like: baseball, football, basketball. But other than this, I'm into doing my school and all that stuff.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
And other than that, sports, man. Sports.
Good. Yeah, I like it.
That's why I'm here.
What do you like most about this class? What's your favorite job?
Everything. I like doing the camera, man. I'm really getting the hang of doing camera work.
Hey, you're our go-to guy on the camera.
Hey, man, I try.
And plus, you're the one that shows up too. I said it with Denzel. It's a crew of 5 people, and you're one of those 5, and that really says a lot about who you are as a person to commit to that when not everybody's here. Because there have been times where Stosh and myself
throws it down to second base. They can't get him. It's scooped up by Avar Rubicabra. Runner stays at third. So Hayden Leisman got a good jump off first base. Count goes to 1-1 to Justin Noreen with runners on second and third now. Tying runner over on second base in scoring position for Justin Noreen.
Well, like I was saying, there have been times where both Stosh and myself wanted to call off the broadcast because we didn't think there would be enough people, and then you show up, and so I really appreciate it.
Same here, man. It's all about dedication, man. If you're gonna be a part of this class, you definitely got to be dedicated to what you want to do, and if you're a sports fan, this is the class to be in. Even if you're not a sports fan, to be honest with you, it's a lot of work going into this, and gets you motivated to want to actually come to class and actually enjoy a game, and like I said, get credit for it.
Yeah, what's better than getting credit for a class and just going to watch a sports game?
Exactly.
Another big curveball in his shot out in the left center field, and they're not going to get it. Nick Perez scoops it, throws it home. 2 runs will score, and this game is tied off the bat of Justin Noreen.
And now that stolen base is huge because he would not have scored on that if he had only been at first. Oh, he might have if he was going off the crack of the bat, but still, it would have been a much closer play than it was.
Center fielder, Dustin Macaluso.
So it brings up Dustin Macaluso. Center fielder, he has 1 dinger on the year.
So who's your favorite person in the class? I mean, other than myself, obviously.
I'm gonna say Puff. How about that? I can't go wrong with
Good
that
answer. Oh, and this was roped down the left field line, foul.
Okay, but on a serious note, well, not that serious. This is all fun. But this class isn't an easy class to find. It's in it's Communication 75. Not a lot of people look down that far on the list. Did you hear about this class?
Nah,
you were looking for it?
No, I wasn't even looking for it. I got my paper for journalism, and I saw that this was one of the classes on the list, and I said, "Oh my God, it's a sports class. It's perfect. It's right up my alley." So.
Yeah, I had heard about it because I was in the Speech 1 class with Poff, and he had the banner hanging in his room, or in the room that we had the class in, saying sports broadcasting. And Chelsea said that was a fun class.
Oh, and that curveball tipped his jersey, so now Dustin Macaluso finds himself on first base. Runners on first and second for the Yuba 49ers.
Shortstop.
Michael France is coming up to the plate now. 266.
You ever notice that we sometimes match the guy in there? Mark? we match Mark. If we happen to be saying the name while he's saying the name, we kind of just lip sync it almost. Sing along.
Nathan Jennist getting a little roughed up here in the fourth inning.
He's up on almost 60 pitches, 2 runs have scored in the inning.
That's a fastball roped right into the glove of Alvaro Rubicabra, and the threat is over. The 49ers get 2. We're tied at 2, heading to the bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth here. It's a new ball game, tied 2-2 here at Bill and Louise Yarborough Stadium. You're tuned in to the Solano College Sports Network. And up first for the Solano Falcons, the right fielder, number 18, Jacob Pavlowski.
Now batting.
Jacob
Right fielder,
had a
number
single
18,
to the opposite field
Jacob
his first at bat.
Pavlovsky.
So he had a good at bat in the bottom of the second inning.
So it looks like Brian's going to be here for the bottom half of every inning, and we're going to have somebody new on in the top half of every inning.
Exactly.
So, how do you feel about Lonnie? I asked you the same question about Denzel. How do you feel about Lonnie?
Well, as you said, Lonnie is one of the few people who could actually make the time commitment to do baseball games every Tuesday and Thursday. I know I would like to have the time commitment to do this
you do
every
now.
afternoon. I do now. That's the one thing. we have practices every Tuesday, Thursday afternoon, so I couldn't be here as much as I would like. But you having a solid crew that could show up every single Tuesday, Thursday and put on these awesome productions, it's really a testament as to his dedication to this class.
Yeah, and you get rewarded if you show up.
Absolutely.
Because there are some people that you just, he doesn't show up. I'm not going to give him his spot.
So that is a 4-pitch walk for Jacob Pavlowski. Very good eye at the plate. Now it's going to bring up the catcher, number 31, Eric Olson. He flew out to the shortstop in his first at-bat.
31, Eric Olson.
He got jammed on the first pitch, and it just floated right into the glove of Michael France. So now Pavlowski got picked off to end the bottom of the second inning. Back picked by the catcher. And that was close there, too.
Now, so next year you said you're going to be a coach. Why aren't you still participating?
Because my eligibility is up. We are allowed 3 state tournaments and 2 national tournaments. I've participated fully
Hit
in
and
both.
run, and Pavlowski was on the move. He's going to go all the way. Oh, they're holding him on second base.
Uh-oh.
And now he's caught in between second and third base, so Eric Olson's going to try to make it to second. And it's a double play as Eric Olson tried to trail the runner, so they get 2 outs on a little bit of a weird double play there.
Some indecisiveness on the hit and run there. Pavlowski ran on the hit, but as soon as he turned to second, a little indecisive about whether he should go to third or
He didn't
stay
pick up the
second.
sign in time.
So
Yeah.
base running
You
mistake by Solano.
You hesitate, you'll get
Anthony
thrown out.
Morris.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
what happened. He tried to get back to the bag, and Eric Olson did the right thing there by trying to trail the runner. And at that point, it's Pavlowski's job to either try
Stay
to
in
make
the
it to the
pickle,
bag
yeah.
or get in a pickle. Allow his
I
runner
thought
to
he
get
went
second
under the
base.
tag, to be honest.
The throw beat him there, and
No, I went Pavlowski, I thought when he spun, hit the dirt, thought he might have gotten under the tag, but obviously not.
kind of the phantom tag there. Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you won't. It's a 1-1 count to Anthony Morris now.
I remember I was
Strike was
watching
there.
one game where the shortstop didn't even step on second base. He just kind of spun around it so it wouldn't get taken out, and they called for the double play,
Yeah.
but they had never actually stepped on second.
It's one of those things. It's like if you're in the vicinity, I don't know the quite actual wording of it, but it's like you're in the vicinity and you're close enough, then on a double play, if you're not trying to get taken out, then you'll be out. So now Anthony Morris works a full count. He's had a couple good plate appearances today.
I mean, there's a reason why he's the designated hitter today.
He has a good eye at the plate. He's got some good wheels. Ooh, a big swing and a miss. Strike. 3, and that will end the inning. It's 1-2-3 heading to the top of the 5th. So top of the 5th inning, and we have a pitching change for the Solano Falcons. Ryan Ernest is coming in to pitch.
15, Ryan Ernest.
And Nathan Jennist went 4 innings. He had 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs on a 57-pitch count. So trying not to expand him too much. And, he pitched pretty well. Just that last inning kind of struggled through it a little bit. And the first pitch here is a strike.
We had a little bit of technical difficulty. The picture got recorded, but for some reason the audio didn't. So, but we have that fixed now, and we have Chelsea here, Chelsea Williams.
All here.
How you doing, Chelsea?
I am doing ever so fine. Wonderful day, beautiful, just beautiful. You can't beat a nice day without baseball. So, even though I'm not really familiarized with the sport.
Well, you're not here because you know the sport.
I'm here because, I'm here because I love the game. Even though I don't know the sport, I do love the game. I give it respect where respect is due, and, it does build character. So
it's America's oldest pastime.
Yeah, I give it respect.
So you're one of the senior members on the staff. I kind of am one of the more, Ustash and I are kind of one of the more well-known ones. But you were here before I was. You were actually the one that got me into the class.
Oh, me? No, it wasn't.
Well, I mean, you were the one that said, "Hey, you better join this class," and you were the first person I told that I was joining the class. And why did you join the class?
Well, funny story. I was undecisive of my major, and my dad actually looked at it, and he's like, "Chelsea, this is you. This is so you." And being the football lover I am, I really just found it actually was my calling, because I'm a big Lee Corso college football down in the.
We had your weekly college football update.
Oh,
so
yeah, you can check that out on YouTube, by the way, anytime.
And the season's over now, but
new season will start, and the football playoffs are coming out. Football playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, are you excited for the 4-team final tournament sort of thing that they got going on?
I did my research on that. It's interesting. It will be an interesting change. I am looking forward to it, but there's flaws in it that I hope they fix.
Like what?
The fact that the Sugar Bowl and the Rose Bowl are the semifinals, and the national championship is where the two meet. So I'm like.
So you could have one team win both the Rose Bowl and the national championship?
Yeah, it's kind of. And whereas the funniest thing is, they could actually use what they do for basketball for football, but they don't want to lose their power for, the college football, so.
I don't know. There's a lot of controversy about the NCAA.
Yeah.
And I'm just mad because now it's affecting my ability to play NCAA football.
And you see here the umpire taking a little bit of time after Eric Olson took a hot shot right off the bat, right into his mask. Umpire took a little walk out and got a new ball, dusted off the plate, so that's a very good umpiring job there. And it's a big strike 3 from Ryan Ernest. So his first batter he faced strikes him out. So that's the first out of the inning. Now coming up to the plate, the leadoff hitter, Ryan Pope, 0 for 2 on the day.
Now batting the DH, Ryan Pope.
So Chelsea. You also are kind of one of the people that does everything around here. What's your favorite thing to do?
Well, what I'm doing right now is something I love. I love broadcasting. Always have, always will, never die.
You're actually doing the play-by-play and the commentary?
I like doing color commentary a little bit more, but I understand for the fact that I want to do more football, I have to understand that color commentating's for the old football players that used to play.
And that's the way it's getting with every sport, really. You got Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal on TNT. And
well, okay. I can understand Shaq and a couple of other ones, but Charles Barkley, I could barely understand him.
Terrible.
He
speaks terribly.
He
I'm excited for the playoffs, though.
Oh, I am. am. It's going to be interesting. The fact that the East, yep, Miami finally like, okay, we don't want first anymore.
Yeah, and first place is actually probably going to be the harder one. It seems like the 2 seed in the East is going to have the easier road.
Oh, yeah.
Nice catch by Chipineri, Joe Chipineri there, the umpire.
Ryan Pope works the count full. One out here in the top of the 5th inning.
So it's pretty well documented how much you love sports. Ooh, big strike 3.
Good pitch on the outside corner. Ring him up. He's going to find himself a spot on the bench and take a seat.
Grab some pine.
Going to be nice and warm right there.
Now batting, second baseman.
But it's pretty well documented your love of college football. But you said that you've been working on watching some other sports and getting to expand your repertoire.
Yes.
So what would be your favorite sport next to college football? And don't you dare say actual football.
High school football.
You were on one of the broadcasts there. You were one of the first Vacaville broadcasts we did this season.
Yeah, I was able to do one game for Vacaville. What I got to do prior was a lot of Vanden football with POF. We did mostly recording, pre-record, which was
And this ball is
nice.
shot out into center field, and David Fernandez is under it, and that will end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, heading to the bottom of the 5th.
Let's go, Solano.
So, bottom of the 5th, due up. Rubalcaba, Contreras, and Fernandez, the 1, 2, 3 hitters here for the Solano Falcons. The game's still tied at 2 after
Now batting, shortstop.
Ryan Ernest
number
came in and
6.
shut down this
Alvaro
Yuba team
Rubalcaba.
in the top of the 5th. So Rubalcaba is 1 for 2 on the day. Came around, scored a run in the bottom of the 3rd. So let's see if he can spark a rally here, get a leadoff hit for the Solano Falcon team. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. The count goes 0-1.
I believe it was Rubalcaba who scored on that Nick Perez hit by pitch. So
Yes.
if he can start a rally here, just like 2 innings ago.
Big curveball swings over the top of this one, rolls it foul. The count goes 0-2. Rubalcaba.
And no, folks, that was not Chelsea Williams with a deeper voice.
Yeah, it is Brian back here. It is the bottom half of the inning, so like I said, how do you feel about Chelsea? What are your opinions on her?
Oh, Chelsea's awesome. Chelsea just brings like a certain energy to every broadcast crew that's just like infectious in the best possible way.
And it's also really fun to blame her for things that aren't her fault.
Oh, just yelling at Chelsea, just even though
it rolls off the tongue nicely.
Yeah, it's just a nice sound.
And it's a high. A little bit of a waste pitch there.
Like
Count
Chelsea,
goes
why didn't
1-2.
Rubalcaba swing at that? Chelsea!
Well, actually, he did the right thing.
That's a good thing.
And you call her name, and she goes, Art!
Ooh, just gets a piece of this one, sends it back to the backstop. Keeps battling, count stays at 1-2.
This is a good ball game. It's shaping up to be 2-2. Here in the 5th inning.
And that ball's in the dirt. Count goes at 2-2. So good eye by Alvaro Rubalcaba to lay off that pitch. And he swings over the top of a good changeup for out number 1. It'll bring up Bobby Contreras, who's also 1 for 2 on the day. He had a single in his last at-bat.
Now batting, second baseman, number 3, Bobby Contreras.
So that's actually 5 strikeouts now for Solano batters.
For Tyler Sharp.
For Tyler Sharp, yeah.
I was about to call him Patrick Sharp for the Blackhawks.
Patrick Sharp,
And he gets
I
the
didn't know
ball
he
low on the
pitching
outside
community
corner. Count goes to 0-1.
he could have.
Mm.
Sharp's a big boy. For me, March and April, that's really the nice time for sports because baseball and football are actually kind of lower down on my list. So for me, seeing hockey playoffs, basketball playoffs, and also the first month of baseball, April's really more my month.
Woohoo. And Peter
What about you?
A lot of variety. I like October.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, you can't beat October. but-
Football, World Series and basketball starts up, so October's also a good month. But I also like the weather in April a lot more than fall.
And Bobby Contreras floats this one over to Michael France. He scoops and fires and just beats the speedy Contreras for out number 2.
Looks like the first baseman thought it was 3 outs.
Yeah, I think this 49er team needs to take a math class and learn how to count.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the other 49er teams.
So, ship this to not top 10? Yes?
Yeah. SCSN not top 10 play nominee.
Number 2.
I was watching a Dodgers game, the Giants-Dodgers game, and Yasiel Puig gets the 3rd out and rockets it to 3rd to try to get out number 4 in the inning.
Hey, but that's okay, though.
That's over-eagerness. That's making sure.
Big
it's still funny.
Call for strike 1 to David Fernandez. Fernandez is 0 for 1 on the day. He drew a walk in his last at-bat. Ooh, a little bit of late-breaking curveball there. Called for ball 1. Count goes 1-1.
After a shaky start by Sharp, he's in line to do his back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings.
Strike called on the outside corner, so Sharp is finding his control. He's about 82 pitch mark right now.
Hopefully Fernandez can break this up. Start a 2-out rally.
And he fouls this one, a little check swing. Fouls it down the first base line. Count stays at 1-2.
That's got to upset you just the slightest bit as a hitter if you check your swing and it hits your bat. Especially if it goes into play, obviously. But you're like, I made the right decision. I checked up.
And he gets a piece of it and stays alive, so good battle here from David Fernandez. Count stays at 1-2.
It's really impressive that Sharp has been able to stay in this game mentally. He had trouble in the first couple innings.
Yeah, he fought through having the bases loaded, struck out 2 in a row to end the inning.
Damage, and his offense came through for him, tied this ball game up.
So try to get a curveball over the plate there, just spun out and a little high, so count goes 2-2. And he swings at a high fastball for strike 3. And it's a 3-up, 3-down, heading to the top of the 6th. The 6th inning here, still tied at 2 at Billy Louise Yarborough Stadium. Coming up first is a 3-hitter, Hayden Leisman. He got a single in his last at-bat, stole a base, but now we're joined in the booth with Miss Sarah. Sarah, how you doing today?
Pretty good, you?
Pretty good. There's a foul back, and Eric Olson is under it. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's a good way to start the inning there.
So Sarah Stafford, or Rastafari, as I like to call you. So first things first, why did you join this class?
I was in Pa's Speech 1 class, and he was talking about it, and it sounded like something fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did the same thing. I had mentioned earlier today that it was really Chelsea and Poff together that convinced me to be in the class. But what were you expecting coming into the class, and is it actually what you expected?
It's basically about what I was expecting. I was honestly expecting more cameras on the broadcast people, but I'm kind of glad there's not.
We can put a camera on you if you want.
No thanks. I'm good.
So did you go in wanting to do production or camera work? Like, what did you want to do?
I want to do background stuff and do everything I could to stay on camera.
It's like pulling teeth trying to get you on camera. And even just now, you're like, I don't want to do it. It's not that hard. We don't bite.
So another foul ball back by Peter Daly, and he's staying alive.
Chelsea, I don't need any of your commentary. You had your half inning.
And it's a high ball outside. Count goes 2-2.
So are you a fan of sports, sir?
I watch hockey on
There you go. Favorite team, Sharks?
Of course.
Yeah.
Another foul ball from Peter Daly. Count stays 2-2.
And yet you weren't there during the one hockey broadcast we did.
I know. I really wanted to.
That was a fun broadcast, wasn't it, Stosh?
Oh, it was great. It was a lot of
Yes.
fun watching little Pee Wee hockey guys.
I have
If that
friends
was
that
another
play
one
out there,
back there.
so
So what are you hoping to do once you leave here? Anything involving this field of expertise?
not really. I'm going into chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. I forgot about that. You told me about that.
And another foul ball. So Peter Daly, that is 5 foul balls in this at-bat. The count stays at 2-2. Ryan Ernest just can't find a pitch to get this guy out right now.
So why did you? So I know you said it was because it sounded fun, but if you're going into chemistry, why did you do sports broadcasting?
I just like doing a lot of different things, get experience.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
never know.
you're fixing our wires and crimping things together, and I don't know how to do any of that. And Stosh, he's clueless most of the time.
Hey, another foul ball. Nah, I know how to do it, but Sarah does an excellent job, so I know that's what she likes to do. So I kind of pass the torch.
Oh, that's what happened.
Peter Daly cannot catch up to Ryan Ernest.
And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So that is the 3rd strikeout for Ryan Ernest. And now coming to the plate is Ryan Glazner.
Now batting, left fielder, Ryan Glazner.
So
He's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking.
chemistry is kind of a vague topic, it seems like. So what are you planning on doing within the field of chemistry?
I'm actually going into biochemistry. I'm looking to do diabetes research.
I'm probably going to need your research done within my lifetime.
So
'Cause-
does my entire family.
Yeah, my diabetes runs in my family, so that's a problem.
Yeah. Although they're actually getting close to a cure, so
Are they?
yeah.
Okay.
So that ball's
They
low,
probably
goes
won't even need
2-1.
me.
Big swing and a miss, strike 2. Count goes to 2-2 on Ryan Glazner. And Ryan Ernest 1 pitch away from going into the dugout unscathed, keeping this game tied at 2. And he just gets a piece of it, fouls it back to the backstop.
Do you watch a lot of hockey, or is that just your sport of choice? Like,
Whenever I
if you
find
have to
it
choose
on.
one.
Yeah, hockey's my sport of choice to watch if I have to watch it.
So are you excited for the playoffs? The Kings, Sharks?
That's going to be the best playoff series of the
Oh,
whole
well,
playoffs.
the entire Western Conference in hockey is incredible. But
Can't leave out the Bruins, though.
True. I just like watching it in general, regardless of who's playing. It's a fun sport to watch. Fast paced.
Ryan Glazner gets
Poison
the
ivy.
walk on a full
Now
count.
batting, first baseman, Justin Noreen.
So the 49ers have something working here with Justin Noreen coming up. He actually had himself an RBI single in his last at-bat. 2 RBI single. Both runs came around to score.
yeah, it was on the stolen base. Put the runners at second and
Stolen
third.
base by Hayden Mahey Lehman. And runner is going. Eric Olsen throws down, and he is safe. Man, that guy was fast. Great jump. Eric Olsen did not have a chance as Ryan Ernest has a little bit slow release to the plate.
So, Sarah, what do you like to do when you're not here or doing chemistry?
I like to swim.
Okay. You were a lifeguard, right?
Yes, I was for 6 years.
6 years. I can't do anything for 6 years. I'm barely going to school for 60 minutes. 60 years. You also like to cook?
Yes, I do. I was baking this weekend.
You like to bake more or cook more? Like desserts, baking things, or like making actual dishes?
Depends on what I want to eat.
Fair enough. What's your favorite thing to make?
Chicken piccata.
This one's poked. Bobby Contreras tried to backhand, picks it up, and Justin Noreen will reach first base. So runner at the corners now for the Yuba 49ers, and he'll bring up Dustin Macaluso.
I love chicken piccata.
Not bad.
I love saying chicken piccata.
Dustin Macaluso.
Macaluso is 0 for 1 on the day. He was hit by the pitch, and we'll have a pinch runner for Justin Noreen. It is number 15.
Jake Phillips, who has 3 bombs on the year and also 3 stolen bases, but he is caught stealing twice. So not afraid to steal a bag.
And maybe that's why they did a little pinch running there. You know he has some power to come off the bench. They lay down a bunt. Oh, and he scoops it over to first, and all the runners safe. Run comes in to score. And Brandon Mahaley tried to barehand it there. Maybe he should have let it go foul, but everybody's safe. And
I don't think that one would have gone foul. I think that was just the best bunt you could ask for.
Now batting.
Because I was going down the line, and it probably would have hit the bag before it went foul.
But in that situation, it's really hard to get the guy at first. You let it go. You try to see if it's going to go foul. Could hit a sunflower seed and kick it foul.
Spit on it.
Blow on it. That happened in the Major League game before. So that ball is high. Count goes 1-0 to Michael France.
Reminds me of the bunt that Gregor Blanco laid down in the 2012 World Series.
I don't remember that.
It actually landed and hit the chalk of the baseline and bounced back fair and stayed between the foul line and the grass.
So Michael France fouls that one back. Count goes to 1-1. Hey, you got Giants fans are starting to sound like Yankee fans. Oh yeah, remember when we won? You guys didn't win last year.
I said 2012. When was the last time the A's won anything?
89.
And that's all anybody ever talks about. Oh, we have more wins than you guys.
I don't say that. I say that.
Most A's fans. Oh, how many World Series rings do you guys have? We have 9.
Yes,
we have 9. The last one came in '89. Don't worry about that. We have more than you. What have you done for me lately? You want to use that on me?
2 divisional championships back-to-back years. Oh, and this one is smoked into left field. Nick Perez playing in. Slides and scoops it for out number 3. And that's it. That saves the inning for the Falcons, only allowing 1 run, heading to the top of the 7th. So, bottom of the 6th inning. The 4-5-6 hitters due up for the Solano Falcons. And leading off
left fielder
is a
number
four-bagger,
13,
Nick Perez.
And
Nick has been hit by the pitch twice so far in this game.
It still doesn't have an official at-bat, but he has an RBI and a run scored.
You know, Tyler Sharp's still on the mound here. He's at 86 pitches. And that first pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
So we have officially met everyone in the crew that there is to meet today. Roxy, Malcolm. Well, Roxy left early. Bernie left early.
And Perez shoots this one over to shortstop Michael France. He gets under it, scoops it over, and oh, what an athletic play by Justin Moore. Oh, we had a substitution. That's right. Jake Phillips over there at first base to come off the bag and get Nick Perez from a bad throw. Excellent job.
So Jake Phillips, I'm sure he was normally the one playing, but he had gotten the day off, and since it's a close game, decided to play. Well, he didn't decide to play the day, but you know what I mean.
So Brandon Mihalich at the plate now. He takes first pitch strike. Tyler Sharp just coming out at this point, just throwing fastballs, saying, "Hey, this is what I got. Go ahead and just."
He's had 6 strikeouts, so.
That ball's high. Count goes 1-1. You know, until before this game, he had 42 strikeouts on the year. 47 now from today's game. And he pokes this one down the left field line, just foul. Count goes 1-2.
And since Sharp's shaky start, he has retired 9 straight batters.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All he needed was to load the bases to find his rhythm.
Yep. Last person to reach base was Nick Perez on his hit by pitch.
And Brandon Mihalich barely holds up on that one. Count goes to 2-2. And, you know, Solano did have they left a lot of runners on base today. A couple base running mistakes really took him out of the inning. And he swings over the curveball. And that is strike 3 called. So that's 2 outs. And he'll bring up Trevor Faulkner to the plate.
Now batting.
Trevor Faulkner
First baseman,
looking
number
to
44,
start something here.
Trevor Faulkner.
They actually shade him in center field to the right field side because he went oppo in the first one and hurt him. So playing him a little right of center.
And he swings at the first pitch and just tips it back to the backstop. Count goes to 0-1. He has a huge gap in left center field. He hits one out there. He'll be running for a while. And he just rolls over on a fastball right into the hands of Michael France. He throws it over to first, and that is out number 3. 3 up, 3 down, and we're heading to the top of the 7th. Top of the 7th inning, the Yuba 49ers are up 3-2 over your Solano Falcons.
Now batting.
Coming to the
Third
plate,
baseman,
the
Rory
number 9
Peterson.
hitter for this 49er team, Rory Peterson, the third baseman. He's 0 for 2 today with 1 strikeout. Ryan Ernest coming in to start his 3rd inning of work. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. And a strike floats in there. Count goes to 1-1.
So before the broadcast started, we were talking about our picks for the division, how the divisions are going to shake out in the American League and the National League. You actually have the Giants winning. I'm sure that's much to your own chagrin.
Partly because of my girlfriend. But and he tries to lay down a bunt there, and it's fouled back. And it was a 1-2 count, and that is strike 3. That's what I thought. A little confused there as he walked back up to the plate. So that'll be another strikeout for Ryan Ernest for out number 1. It'll bring up Ryan Pope, the leadoff hitter now. Ryan Pope, 0 for 3 on the day with 1 strikeout. He lays down a bunt right in no man's land. Faulkner comes off, throws it up to Ernest. He steps on the bag, and he is out at first. Good
That was a
hustle play.
great play by Ryan Ernest and Trevor Faulkner.
Now batting. Second
Yeah,
baseman.
it was an excellent job by
Dallas
Trevor
Cummings.
Faulkner reading the bunt to come in and really get it in this nice little lob. But that's what you call PFP, Mike. Pitcher's fielding practice. It's the first thing you do when you come onto the team. Learn how to field ground balls from the pitching position. And that ball is high outside for ball 1. Dallas Cummings up at the plate. He is 1 for 2 today with a walk and a double.
Yeah, double, and came around to score on that one.
And he ripped the very first pitch he saw from Nathan Genist. And he swings at this one and pops it straight up. And Olsen battling the sun, and he's camped under it. And a good snag by Eric Olsen. And that will end the inning. 1, 2, 3. And we're stretching in the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Tyler Sharp is out on the mound, coming in for a start of 7th inning of work, only allowing 2 runs so far in the game. That happened early.
Now batting. Right fielder, number 5, Andrew Harris.
Andrew Harris, sorry. Coming in for Jacob Pawlowski to pinch hit.
I wish Perez was hitting right now.
He lays down the first pitch, and he bunts it. He's trying to get down the first base and just barely beats it. Rory
I thought he was out, to be honest.
It was a very close play.
It was very close.
A
Rory Peterson.
great play by number 5, Rory Peterson. He laid out on that throw.
Looked like he saw that all the way.
And the umpire and the coach coming out to argue with the umpire, just ask him, "Hey, wasn't he out?" And nope. he
Is
said-
would that be a reviewable call?
It is a reviewable call,
Okay.
but we do not have instant.
Well,
replay
obviously,
here at
yeah,
Solano
but-
College Sports Network. So a leadoff bunt single for Andrew Harris. It brings up the big boy Eric
Now
Olsen, the
batting.
catcher.
Catcher, number 31, Eric
He's
Olsen.
1 for 2 today with a single. And he was in that awkward play with Jacob Pawlowski where they both got thrown out, the unconventional double play in the 4th inning. He's squaring around a bunt. Harris gets back to first safely. Check the runner.
And Harris has some wheels on him. And he's Olsen squaring around a bunt, but I would go more of a hit and run sort of situation.
And quick throw over to first, quick tag.
See what kind of back control Olsen has if he were to hit and run. There's a big gap right in the 3.5 hole, right?
We learned that
New turn.
today.
They're getting closer and closer every time, and Harris barely has a lead, but Tyler Sharp has an excellent move over to first base, and the way Jake Phillips is throwing down that tag, takes a little half step off, they might get him. And that ball is low. Count goes 1-0. As a pitcher, you know, when a guy's giving himself up to bunt, you know, you don't want to give him a good pitch to bunt, but just let him get it somewhere where he's going to pop it up and nothing in the dirt.
In all the video games I ever played, I'd always put it right at the top of the strike zone.
And that's another ball. Count goes 2-0. Yeah, you want it somewhere up at the letters to where the bat head gets under it and it'll pop straight up. You might leave the runner over at first base high and dry.
Now, when you're bunting, is it easier to hit to bunt a fastball or an off-speed pitch?
Fastball for sure. Ooh, just barely gets back in there. Just because with the curveball, the spin on the ball could allow it to pop up more, and it's just a little bit harder to control.
Harder to square up.
And he gets down to bunt, and what a beautiful bunt it is down the first base line. Eric Olsen does his job. He's going to get a bunch of high fives in the dugout as Andrew Harris moves his way over to second base, so 1 out, and it's going to bring up the DH Anthony Morris.
Now batting the DH, number 8, Anthony Morris.
Morris is 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, but he's had it throughout his at-bats. He's been really had, you know, good eye, just
Trying to
battling.
avoid the golden sombrero.
He's seen a lot of pitches.
This is the hat trick.
Yeah. He's seen a lot of pitches today.
And he sees that one go right down the heart of the plate for strike number 1.
Remember, he was at bat when Pavlovsky got picked off at first, so effectively he's had 3 at-bats against Sharp today. See if this one can pay off.
And that
from a
at-bat,
RBI
he
hit.
saw about 7 or 8 pitches, and so he kind of saw Sharp's repertoire. Ooh, and he swings at a high fastball for strike number 2. Count goes to 0-2. Yeah, Solano could really use a big hit here from Anthony Morris as they're down by 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Just like with Faulkner, they're shading Morris to the right in the outfield.
And that pitch is high and outside for ball number 1. And that was his 102nd pitch of the ball game, so I'm pretty sure Tyler Sharp's day will be done after this inning, or if he gets in a little trouble.
Yeah, if a run scores, then he's definitely out. If Anthony Morris were to reach, probably his day would also be done.
And that ball is outside for ball 2.
It looks like somebody's getting warmed up for the 49ers in their bullpen, a lefty.
And
It's probably Mendoza still.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's been throwing down there for a while, so I'm pretty sure he's just down there staying loose to.
And he's been down there for 2 or 3 innings.
Well, the top of the lineup's coming up, so they could pull him after this hitter. Timeout called by Anthony Morris. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, so that is out number 2.
And he does get the hat trick. 3 strikeouts for Anthony Morris on the day.
Something you never want to do as a hitter, but now Alvaro Rubalcava's coming to the plate. He's 1 for 3 today with a single and a scored run. Also struck out in the 5th inning.
Rubalcava.
You know, since the 4th inning, Tyler Sharp's been pretty much pitching lights out.
Yeah, and that's probably the main reason why he's still in the game. Because, like we said, after you load the bases, he really hasn't had too much trouble.
And that ball's high and outside for ball 1. Solano could really use a big hit here.
Yeah, Solano looked like they needed to jumpstart their offense with how Sharp was going, so they went with a small ball, bunt single, sack bunt. See if Rubalcava can drive Harrison home.
And he rips this one right in the 3.5 hole. And Harris is coming around to score. It's going to be a tight throw, and he comes in. We have a tie ball game. What a big hit from Alvaro Rubalcava to get the RBI.
You know, right, and you're not going to believe me, but right before that pitch, I was thinking, they're shading the line pretty hard first base. He has a huge gap between the first baseman and the second baseman. And he
base,
poked it right
number 3,
through and
Bobby
overthrew the
Contreras.
cutoff man. And that's how you run.
Hey, that's why they say you got to hit the cutoff, man.
Yeah.
Hit the cutoff, man. They would have had him by 2 steps. So Bobby Contreras at the plate now. 1 for 3 on the day. Had himself a single back in the 3rd. Ooh, Rubalcaba just gets back. Like to see him get a little dirty down there. Runner going. It's a pitch out. Rubalcaba, it's a high throw, and he's under the tag, safe for stolen base for Alvaro Rubalcaba.
Peter Daly is upset with himself because,
Perfect call, pitch out. And
yeah.
Just a bad throw, poor throw.
And that is going to end Tyler Sharp's day with 107 pitches. As we're going to see a couple of defensive changes come in here.
Number 12, Daniel Hernandez, is coming in
Double
at
switch.
shortstop.
So that means Michael France is coming in to pitch.
Well, I guess.
Interesting move considering they have been having Mendoza forming with the bullpen for a couple innings now.
Yeah, Michael France is listed as a pitcher infielder, so probably with a couple of righties coming up to bat, you'd want to go with the matchup of a righty on righty rather than having the lefty.
Right.
To this day, when I hear that song, I see you standing there on that lawn. Discount shades, store-bought team, flip-flops and cut-out jeans.
So, Michael France as a pitcher has pitched 64 and a third innings. He's a starting pitcher. He's 4-4 on the year. He's given up 31 earned runs in that 64 and a third innings pitched. So he's a 4.34 ERA, 4.76 strikeouts per game. Struck out 34 so far, as opposed to 8 walks.
Yeah, looks like he has a lot of control with those 8 walks and 64 innings pitch.
Yeah, basically won a game.
So Yuba looks like they want to go with the righty-righty matchup with France going up against Bobby Contreras. See if Contreras can drive in Rubalcaba, who's in scoring position. Rubalcaba has a lot of speed, so it's a real good scoring opportunity for Solano to go ahead 4-3.
Yeah, so like we were saying, Daniel Hernandez coming in to shortstop. So he's only hit 4 for 25 so far this year. Only played in 16 games, more of a bench player, role player, but he's listed as an infielder, so it looks like we're going to get back to baseball here.
So runner on second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Bobby Contreras coming up to the plate. Alvaro Rubalcaba ripped a single and made his way over to second base on a huge stolen base. So we'll see what Michael France can do on the mound, and that's a ball low for ball 1. So France looking in, finally gets a sign that he likes. He comes set, he kicks and fires. And it's ball low in the dirt. Count goes to 2-0. Oh, and they asked the umpire for help, and it turned out to be, they said he went around, so the count goes to 1-1. Not quite too sure about that one, guys.
Judgment call.
Yeah, not sure that's the best angle to judge if you check to swing from the second base side, but hey.
That's the move I don't like, where he kicks his leg out high and then spins around.
As long as you don't break the plane. That's why you have to be a heads-up runner. You got to let him know. And that's a ball low, so the count goes 2-1. You know, if he kicks back and crosses his other ankle, then he has to go back to the plate. So if he kicks over.
Looks like France has a very interesting sidewinder kind of style. Not your conventional over-the-top kind of thrower. Like a low 3/4 release.
That ball is out, and it's ball
Oh,
four.
well, there you go.
Yeah, Miss Chelsea Williams was right.
Yeah,
So-
because Sharp threw a pitch out right before they made
Oh,
the pitching
that's right.
change, so
That
was
is
the
that's
last
right.
ball.
So even though the pitch count is only at 4 pitches for Michael France, and he threw a strike, it's still a walk.
So David Fernandez coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today with a walk and a strikeout.
This is a part of the order Solano really wants their clutch guys to come through.
And that slider hangs in there and it's called a strike one. A little bit of a late breaking action there. You know, Fernandez kind of gave up on the pitch, which most hitters do.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little front door, like slider.
Wearing the stirrups, Michael France. Which I like. I like the stirrups.
Hey, shortstop's got style. All right.
And that's a ball outside. Count goes 1-1. Yeah, you can't beat the old-fashioned stirrups. Been part of baseball for a long time, since back in the 1800s. And that's another one of them sliders. A late break comes in high for strike two, I'm sorry.
Looks like Francis is starting to get warmed up, getting command of that breaking ball.
He hasn't thrown too many fastballs here. Kind of sticking with that slider to David Fernandez.
They throw another one, and it's dirty. Count goes 2-2.
And that may be why Yuba decided to go with the right-handed pitcher. Just to kind of freeze David Fernandez and try to still hit the zone.
Hey, Yuba's defensive positioning is a big hole on the second base side.
That ball
Ooh,
is
struck him
called.
out.
Strike 3. So that will end the threat for the Falcons. 1 run comes around to score, so we have a tied ball game at 3, heading to the top of the 8th.
Top of the 8th inning here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium. And we have Greg Poff joining us now. So I lied when I said we had met the crew. We also need to meet the teacher of the class. How you doing, Poff?
I'm doing great. It's nice to get in the broadcast booth.
Oh,
it was a high and tight pitch. Yeah, since 2007, Zach and I have been doing the large part of Solano baseball, but I don't know if we're going to get back in the booth. You two guys have been tearing it up this season. Stosh and Mike, outstanding job. How have the rest of the interviews gone today?
Not too bad. A little bit of nerves coming in, but that's to be expected. And a lot of these people have never been behind a mic before. But overall, I think it's gone really well.
And that's how we do it here at Solano College Sports Network. You want a career in the broadcasting field, or you just want to try it out?
Yeah.
Take Communication Studies 75. We'll throw a mic on you and see what you got, right? Doesn't work out, we don't have to put the game up. Everything so far tape delay. But great opportunity to work in the field of sports broadcasting. Pretty good game today, too. All tied up at 3-3.
Yeah, I'm saying that I hope it doesn't go into extra innings, but that's just because I want Solano to win here at the bottom of the 8th and the bottom of the 9th. They have 6 more outs to do it.
and he pokes this one in the right field. Andrew Harris to field it, and Hayden Mahey-Lehman finds himself with a leadoff single.
So and you know, Solano baseball this year too, kind of a down year. How's that been for you guys in the broadcast booth? Typically, you know, Solano's going to be in contention for the Bay Valley Conference. I think they had won 6 in a row until last year. So this year, a little bit of a down year, but you guys have been doing a good job bringing some excitement to the games. How do you do that?
Well, I think we got a little bit spoiled with myself doing volleyball and Stosh and I doing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We got really used to winning, and we got used to calling good games with Solano up by 20 and
the 18-game win streak.
Yeah,
the Solano women's team. That was exciting, fun to watch.
It has been tough, but baseball is one of those games where it doesn't really matter what the score is. It's still a good game regardless.
And an excellent bunt by Peter Daly right down the line, but it just trickles foul, and that's going to be the first strike. Count goes to 1-1.
I tell you, today I've had a hard time keeping track of the scoreboard just because I've been talking to people all day.
Well, I'm impressed. Stosh over here, pitch count and everything. That's a new aspect. Zach and I never had that in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, I was picking up scorebooks, and I saw that, picked it up. So I feel like it's helped us a little bit, added a little bit of a dimension to our broadcast.
And Brian Nelson getting in today, getting his chance.
He gets down the bunt and scoops, fires over to first for the first out of the inning, and Hayden Mahey-Leisman will find himself on second base. Good bunt by Peter Daly, sacrificing himself for the team to bring up the big hitter, Ryan Glazner. Not having the best day, but he's 0 for 3 today with a walk and 2 strikeouts. He stole a bag, came around the score, so maybe that last at-bat might spark something for him here.
Pretty good outing by Ryan Ernest.
Yeah.
Coming in, kind of holding down the hatch, keeping the game close. All tied up now, 3-3.
And that's something I like to see from the Solano team. You know, a lot of times they get in that one inning and they allow 1 or 2 runs, bases loaded, and they just can't get that last out. And so they, boom, 5, 6 runs come around. And they're starting to get out of the jams and starting to figure things out. Huge strides from the beginning of the season for this team. Good curveball call for strike 1. Count goes to 1-1.
Yeah, talking about getting out of jams, I think it might have been the second or maybe the third inning. Nate Genest was in a bit of a jam, got out of that one, gave up a couple runs a little bit later, but I thought he pitched pretty effectively today as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, if he would have thrown a little quicker, might have had him there.
Yeah. Now, Puff, did you create the sports broadcasting class, or did you inherit it from somebody?
You know, it actually was the idea of a computer tech instructor still at the college by the name of Mark Taylor.
That ball is low.
And this was back in 2007. And I believe 2007, Solano won their first Bay Valley Conference championship. They'd gone to the playoffs the year before in 2006 as they kind of had that play-in game.
Yeah, the wild card sort of thing.
The next year, and right before the playoffs, Mark Taylor got together with the then athletic director, Bob Myers, and said, look, there's got to be a way that maybe we can do some broadcasts, at least tape delay. And so we did a conference game, a couple weeks before the playoffs that year. And it was funny, you look at the equipment, everything recorded into an actual laptop. We're using recording software.
Right.
Then we ended up doing the playoffs that year for Solano, and starting in 2008, we've pretty much done every home game. And really up until 2 years ago, we were just doing little digital recorders with headsets, audio-only broadcasts. But Mark Taylor was the guy that came up with the idea. I got a hold of it and then really tried to work to get a class created, start getting students involved. And, man, look where we're at today. Pretty cool.
Yeah, remember last baseball season where we had just wires all put together, and, man, it was just a rat's nest. But we made it work, and now we're here at the TriCaster 40 setup.
I heard so many horror stories of last season of just so many wires and 6 different screens. And so how did the idea of the TriCaster come about?
Actually, talking to Tommy Gaetjes, who we just got lucky. This kid was like a wonder kid when it comes to tech. His uncle worked for Fox Sports. Boy,
Ryan Glazner.
What a pitch by Ernest there.
Hey, throw your hats off because he has himself the hat trick.
Nice job. Yeah, he's looked really, really good. But, yeah, we heard about the TriCaster. We had a kid in the class whose uncle worked for Fox Sports. And so he kind of gave us a lowdown on the equipment that we could get at this level. Nothing too expensive.
Right.
$5,000 for the TriCaster. And that's given us the ability to do multi-camera broadcasts, get into using the board, graphics. And so that's really helped us get to the next level. And hopefully by next year, we're going to be able to add slow motion instant replay. And then we should have everything in order to do some really good broadcasts.
Umpire behind the plate said yes, he did. So that is strike 1. The count goes to 1-1. Couldn't hold up his swing there. Jake Phillips came in and pinch ran for Justin Noreen in the 6th inning.
So tell everybody a little bit about your history. I know that you coached speech and debate. You did that in the past. So how did you end up in the situation you're in?
Boy, that's a really good question because I never imagined doing anything like this.
This has popped up down the right field line. Faulkner's over there. He has room, gets under it, and just overruns the ball there. So it's a foul ball. Count goes to 1-2.
Faulkner got a little ahead of himself. I wasn't sure if he was going to get over there. He actually overran the ball. Just hard to stop that big body and plant his feet and make the catch.
Well, also the wind usually comes out to right field, and it seemed on that one that it came out to left a little bit and just caught it on the last second and screwed him up.
Not too windy down here, but if you look at the top of the trees, the wind's blowing, so it gets up 30, 40 feet in the air, and they'll start swaying around. And that pitch is a waste pitch. Count goes 2-2.
Yeah, haven't had the wind at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium that you typically will see, especially during the month of March. It can really create havoc, especially for the opposing outfield. They're just not used to playing here day in, day out, like the kids on Solano in terms of practice.
And he swung and a miss. They throw down to first, and that will end the inning. One runner left on, heading to the bottom of the 8th. So bottom of the 8th, still tied at 3. And we have the big boys coming up for Solano. Nick Perez, Brandon Mihalich, Trevor Faulkner to get things started.
Point Solano, they've had some tough, close games. You know, last week we missed. I was in Nationals for the National Championship Speech and Debate Tournament, but boy, Solano, 2 really close games, wins both of them against Napa.
Yeah, a couple of walk-offs, a couple of comebacks.
Yeah, I believe Rubalcaba had a big hit in one of those games. Nice to see him get going, the kid out of Vanden.
So Nick Perez digging in. 0-1 count. Sees a pitch and he hits us high. And it is far. Does it have enough? And that baby is gone! Home run for Nick Perez. And everybody's on their feet here at Billy Louise Yarborough Stadium. And that is the first home run of the year for that young man. And what a prime opportune time for hit that one to put Solano ahead by 1.
And how fun is that, getting a home run call? Stosh tearing it up, baby.
Man.
We had one a week or two ago, but it was a guy on the other team.
And
so
you know what? This is the first time I didn't take Nick Perez to hit a home run in our pool, and he hits one.
And pretty big one, too. Big moment, bottom of the 8th. How do you do, Mr. Perez? Solano takes the lead.
And we have a pinch hitter for Brandon Mihalich. It is Tucker Bishop coming in now. He has an 0-1 count. Man, he hit that ball a ton.
taking on one of the deeper parts of the yard. I mean, obviously it's 400 and straightaway center, but he hit it over the 370 sign.
Yeah, if you look, Hayden Mahey-Leisman over in right field just watched it go. He didn't even take a step.
Yeah, you had a feeling that was gone once it left the bat.
Oh, and Tucker Bishop gives it a ride in the left field, and Ryan Glazner's under it for the first out of the inning. Good way to come off the bench and see a good pitch and just rip one to left field.
Boy, and Tucker Bishop's a kid that's really kind of been up and down this year. Last year, outstanding freshman campaign, and he's really kind of struggled at times this year. He really hasn't had the year that everyone expected coming back for his sophomore year, but good kid. He's really hung in there. But just a tough year for the sophomore out of Benicia.
You see a nice curveball from Michael France to Trevor Faulkner up at the plate now. Tries to come back with the same pitch. It's a little tad inside. Count goes 1-1.
I remember this France kid from last year. Pretty good outing against Solano.
And Faulkner tries to give it a ride. He just pokes it down the left field line right into the Solano bullpen. Nobody there. It's a long foul ball.
So you never did quite answer the question of how you ended up being the teacher of sports broadcasting here at Solano.
That's because I'm not quite sure how it happened. You know, I've coached competitive community college speech in debate for about 30 years now, and that was always kind of my deal.
Faulkner goes down to get this one and just pokes it up. And there's nobody there. He lost it in the sun, so Faulkner will be on first base. Dallas Cummings just got blinded by the sun there.
Yeah, it looked like Faulkner hit a little wedge shot there.
And Daniel Hernandez, who came in, and you get a sense of maybe why he's not an everyday player, just kind of letting that one go.
But back to your question, the way we kind of transitioned, I was just going to coach speech and debate till my kids grew up, and my last son finished in 2009 for Solano speech and debate. But a couple years before, it's a little bit low there, a couple years before when Mark Taylor and Bob Myers, the AD, had the idea of doing a couple baseball broadcasts, I thought, hey, students might enjoy doing something like this, so put a class together.
That ball low. Count goes 1-0. Oh, and Faulkner almost got left out to dry over on first base.
He was only about 3 feet off the back, but it took every second to get back there under the throw. But a lot of it had to do with the fact that my son, Zach Poff, wanted to go into sports broadcasting, and we started looking around for schools to go to. And you couldn't find, especially on the community college level, any kind of really sports
Yeah.
broadcasting program.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's nothing really like it. There's nothing at Napa. There's nothing at DVC. So this is really the place to go if you want to do sports broadcasting.
Yeah, if you go online, you check out any community college, go to their athletic webpage, you're probably not going to find audio, video broadcasts of the games. But we thought there might be a spot for that. Put a class together. Kids started taking the class, and here we are. We started in 2007, 2014, and now we've got a pretty good deal going. And the cool thing about the broadcast class is it just gives students, whether you want to work on a camera, work on the board, get behind the mic, you can get experience right away that you're not going to get anywhere else. You go to San Francisco State or maybe get in a broadcast general class, you're going to sit in class most of the time.
Yeah.
Here, we'll put you to work.
And that's a high for ball one. Eric Olson now at the plate as Andrew Harris swung at strike
And
three.
really, you can sit in classes and try to learn about this stuff, but it's really classes aren't going to teach you how to talk to people, like do the actual game broadcast. You can only learn that through actually doing it.
Yeah, you're not going to learn how to hook up a coaxial cable to a BNC connector, and then, we got to hook the RCA into the actual camera. All hands-on experience.
And Olson rolls over on this one right into the glove of Rory Peterson, decides to go the short way to second base, and that will end the inning. A big home run from Nick Perez gives Solano the lead heading to the top of the ninth. So top of the ninth inning, Solano has the lead 4-3 off the big home run from Nick Perez.
Number 2.
And now
David
pitching for
Fernandez.
Solano, the closer, number 2, David Fernandez. Fernandez had a little bit of a rough start to the season, coming in as a new closer role. He's not used to closing, but since then has been really pretty much lights out during this regular part of the season. He has 8 strikeouts on the year and 5 1/3 innings pitched. And Dustin Macaluso is up to the bat. First pitch, low, just a tad outside.
David Fernandez, kind of a slinger, kind of steps and then throws.
Yeah, he kind of falls off the mound and finds his release point. So, and the umpire asked the opposing team dugout to not yell so much.
Yeah.
They're kind of doing a Jaws theme.
Pulls back the bunt, calls strike one, count goes to 1-1. You see the rally caps on in the Yuba dugout now.
And I'm sure they're not supposed to do this, but if I was an umpire and I told somebody to knock it off and then they kept talking, all of a sudden, strike one. I think that sounds a little bit bigger for that pitch.
Exactly. At this point, if the umpire asks you not to do nothing, you got to respect him because he does initially control the game. You make him a little mad. The one pitch that can go either way, he's going to call it in favor of the other team every single time. Big swing and a miss. Strike 2. Count goes to 2-2 to Macaluso. And he pokes this one right over the head of Ivar Rubicavro. Nick Perez fields it. So, leadoff single for Dustin Macaluso. And Yuba has something working here in the top of the ninth.
Now batting, shortstop, Michael France.
Michael France, the pitcher who once was the shortstop of this game, is now coming to the plate. 0 for 3 on the day. He was hit by the pitch in the third inning.
Solano playing in on third base, trying to protect the sack bunt. Ideally, Yuba wants to get that runner in scoring position.
And he gets the bunt down, and it goes foul. So the count goes to 0-1.
I think this is where David's pitching style really helps with sack bunts with his slinging mentality. Not a lot of whole straight stuff that's easy to bunt like we talked about. Not a lot of
And also, you
fastballs.
just don't pick it up as quickly because you get used to looking at a pitcher firing as he steps rather than having stepped and already turned his body before you see the ball.
A lot of moving parts to that motion.
Sort of like a right-handed Madison Bumgarner. And I only reference Giants because that's all I watch.
Yeah, see, I would say he's more like a Frankie Rodriguez throwback.
I guess,
where he kind of falls off the mound and just kind of slings it.
And that's a ball outside. Count goes 2-1.
It's always fun talking to Poff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always, he just brings an energy.
Yeah.
Wherever he
Clearly,
gets.
Nick Perez felt that energy as he put a charge into that ball.
Well, we've been saying that the losing streak was attributed to Poff not being at the broadcasts.
He tries to get the bunt down. They knock it foul, so the count now goes to 2-2. And I know from a coaching standpoint, I would not be too happy with my player there. He had 2 opportunities to get the runner in the scoring position, but now he needs to come up with a big hit here.
He's getting a little fancy trying to bunt it down the first baseline when obviously Solano is conceding having the third baseman come in and easily sacrifice bunt to the third baseline.
No, you'd rather take it down the first baseline because you'll get a good jump and you could possibly turn a double play down the third baseline. And he tried it. He pulled back, so now the count is full.
Did he pull back? He kind of looked like he jabbed at that one. But obviously, he's still at the plate, so.
Yeah.
But you know that we were a little bit blocked there.
Yeah.
Behind home plate, couldn't see it. All he has to do is bring it back to his chest. So the count is full. Runner on first, no outs. And he fouls this one back, and that would be strike 3. So now it's going to bring up Rory Peterson, who is 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts. And Coach Stover's coming out to talk to his pitcher.
And it looks like Yuba has a pinch hitter. It looks like probably Damon.
Number 34, Damon Bujarin. Bujarin?
Bugarin? Damon. Looks like big Damon.
He has 2 home runs on the year.
That's a good
but he is
situation.
only batting .219.
Well, that's an improvement over Rory's 1-something average. So.
Rory Peterson. No, you were thinking of Justin Nareen.
Oh, okay.
Rory Peterson was hitting .271.
Okay.
But more one of the guys that hits for average, and you're trying to get a 5-4 lead.
So 1 out now, runner on first. Damon Bugarin up at the plate. And he's squaring around the bunt, as we've seen all day today from these Yuba hitters. And the first pitch comes across a strike. You know, at this point, Dustin Macaluso, he's got some wheels over there as he plays center field. We've seen him catch a couple good fly balls today. And yes, he did, so the count goes quickly to 0-2. Couldn't hold up his swing there as the ball came in. Looked like a little bit of a sinking motion on that pitch.
Yeah.
And to your point, Stosh, 9 stolen bases for Dustin Macaluso, so not afraid to steal. Might look at a hit-and-run situation here.
And there he goes. Runners off, swing and a miss, strike 3, but he gets into second base. So 2 outs for back-to-back strikeouts from David Fernandez.
And that would have been the worst way to end for Yuba if he had been thrown out.
Yeah.
But he got an excellent jump.
Yeah.
And at that point, Fernandez a little slow to the plate.
You can kind of feel him feeling out Fernandez's pitches as he was throwing, getting a good secondary lead each time, even when he didn't steal.
Yeah, I kind of saw him just jump, and that would be when he jumps. And number 23, Raymond Lukes.
Yep.
Coming in for Ryan Pope.
So
hitting at .222 on the year.
Yuba coming down to their last out here. They have the potential tie and run on second base. First pitch, and it's poked in the left center field, and they're going back, and nobody can get to it. And he's coming around to score, and Raymond is on second base. They're waving him to third. He is on his horse. Good relay throw. Rubicaba in the third. Kit just gets there. He's under the tag, safe with a huge hit from Raymond Lukes.
Did not waste any time with that pinch hit triple. Saw something I like, drove it to the gap in left center. Now it's tie ball game.
And the outfield was kind of playing in to try to keep the runner. Or I don't know. With 2 outs, you're wondering why they were playing in as much as they were.
Perhaps trying to throw out the runner if he tries to get a single, but yeah.
You're susceptible to doubles that way.
Yeah. Did not play the no doubles defense with the deep outfield.
So now Dallas Cummings coming up to the plate.
Well, that one was just absolutely rocked. I don't know if anybody was getting to that one.
Nah, he hit it right in the perfect gap, right under the 370 sign in left center field. Dallas Cummings is 1 for 4 on the day. He had a double earlier in this game. First pitch comes in, it's a strike.
And if you're David Fernandez, you just have to put that past you. Yeah, you blew the save, but you've been pitching well, and you have to just forget about the runner at third and try to make this stay a tied ball game.
Yeah, you can't allow that runner to come in here because you still have one final at bat.
Make sure that your team can't lose.
Exactly.
Got to put trust in your offense to score you another run.
And gets the call strike there. Count goes to 1-2 to Dallas Cummings. So Fernandez needs to buckle down here. And this is a hot shot right up the middle, and Dallas Cummings becomes a hero for this Yuba team, giving them the lead 5-4 here in the top of the ninth.
It's a good game for Dallas. Yuba started their scoring with a Dallas Cummings double. He came in to score later on. Now he drives in the go-ahead run at the top of the ninth.
Now it brings back up Hayden Leisman.
Now batting right fielder, Hayden Leisman.
Hey, Fernandez needs to buckle up here because Mahie Leisman is their top batter with the 378 average on the year. So no slouch here as they get to the heart of the order.
A jack, 2 doubles, a triple. But he also has, and he's only struck out 6 times, walked 6 times, 15 RBIs.
And this ball's fouled back over to left field bleachers. And the count goes to 1-1. Now Leisman's 2 for 4 on the day with 2 singles, a stolen base, and a scored run. So he's had himself a pretty good day today. And foul down the right field line. 1-2 again. Besides the triple in this inning, 2 of the base hits have come on 2 strike counts, so Fernandez needs to buckle down here. Runner is going. Good communication. Now just running back to the bag. Faulkner coming around. Flips it over to Alvaro Rubalcaba. He falls and he makes the last out. The damage is done. Yuba leads by 2, heading to the leads by 1, heading to the bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth here at Bill and Louise Yarborough Stadium. You're tuned in to the Solano College Sports Network. And we have a pinch hitter leading off the inning. Number 12, Gio Torres.
Number 12, Giovanni Torres.
Anthony Morris had the hat trick on the year, so it was perfect time for a pinch hitter as Gio Torres comes in, takes a first pitch strike, and that was a nasty curveball. It started at his elbow. He turned into it and just hit the strike zone perfectly. So France is dealing high. Ball 1.
So a little late inning magic from both of these teams. And Fernandez gave up 2 runs, but
ooh, another good curveball on the inside part of the plate. Strike 2.
has the possibility of getting up this inning. Try to rectify some of that.
And he battles, fouls it back to the backstop. Count stays at 1-2. So Gio's been in the lineup a lot throughout the year in the 9-hole. Maybe getting a day off today, game of rest.
Or maybe it's the fact that he's hitting 129.
Big swing and a miss, hustle down the line, and they throw down the first for out number 1.
But when David Fernandez came in to pitch, somebody had to go into center field, so.
Now batting shortstop, number 6, Alvaro Rubalcaba.
So Rubalcaba coming up to the plate. 2 for 4 on the day with a stolen base and a scored run. You look up here, France is trying to intimidate the hitters. He just stands up there and watches them walk up and already ready to go. And he comes with that first pitch curveball again.
Yeah, he's a very Mark Burley-esque type of timing where he just gets the ball and he wants to fire it in there.
And that ball's high. Count goes to 1-1.
Mirror images of this last at bat with the first pitch curveball for a strike and then a high fastball.
He's been throwing the curveball. He's been throwing that slider over and over again. There it is again. And he rolls over the top of it. Count goes 1-2.
His off-speed pitch has really settled him in from when he came in from shortstop. He a little erratic in the beginning as first batter, but he's settled in nicely with his
the last
stuff.
fastball I see him throw was that home run hit by Nick Perez. And he yanks this one down just foul.
He gave up the home run, and he probably was like, I'm not throwing that anymore.
And Rubalcaba skies this one into right field, and this could be trouble. And he's under it, and he makes out Leisman. So Solano down to their last out, and Bobby Contreras is coming up to the plate.
Now batting, second baseman, number 3, Bobby Contreras.
And there it is again, that curveball. You know, Bobby Contreras wasn't even quite set before Franks was throwing the ball in there, starting a quick pitch a little bit. And that ball is low. Count goes to 1-1.
Well, see, the thing about France is he doesn't have a look into the catcher and a set.
And he tries to bunt one down, and it trickles foul. Count goes to 1-2. Good idea by Bobby Contreras, as the infielders weren't crashing at all.
But like I was saying, he doesn't have a look in to set. Everything's the same position, so there's no wasted motion there. Nothing to alert the hitter that he's ready to pitch.
And he pokes this one, is fielded by Daniel Hernandez, kicks it over, and he is out at first, and Yuba wins the ball game 5-4, and what a crushing defeat for this Solano Falcon team.
And, you know, there's not really anything you can point to that, as far as like a systematic flaw in Solano this game, there's just a couple of missed opportunities. They struck out twice in a row with the bases loaded. Jacob Pavlovsky and Eric Olson getting stuck in that double pickoff, and really those were the two only real mistakes that Solano made. They had a great game.
Well, he also left 8 runners on base today.
Yeah.
And when you leave 8 runners on base, it's not so much like we were just touching on, and a lot of strikeouts, but much better ball team than we're used. You know, from an early part of the season, they really battled. Just that one last inning, couple missed. You know, Fernandez left the pitches up and the triple, and you know, it's just. It's
I have to
tough.
give you credit to Yuba,
Yeah,
too. Yuba hit when they needed to. They had a big pinch hit triple, and they got Dallas Cummings with a big hit to drive in the game-winning run.
You know, and now I can see why Yuba has won 4 in a row, now 5 in a row, and pushes their conference record to 9-7 and 14-17 on the year. So this team is starting to get hot at the right time of the year, and Solano has 2 more games to go against this Yuba team as they drop the first one today here at Bailey and Louise Yarborough Stadium.
And I mean, Fernandez, he's a great closer. He had a great freshman campaign, but coming back, I don't know if he should be the closer coming forward. And it's not really a knock on him, but he hasn't had the best numbers on the mound, and he's a much better infielder than he is a pitcher. And I just think with the quality of pitcher that you have in this bullpen and how big of a bullpen it is, you don't need to be playing a infielder as your closer. You could put in David Novelli or Kyle Stafford, who you and I both thought would be the closer starting the year. There's a couple of guys you could put in there that would do just fine in that role.
You know what, Solano pitching today, 12 strikeouts. I mean,
Yeah.
the pitching was there. You know, Nathan Jennings pitched his tail off, and he was almost unhittable for the first 3 innings. And Ryan Ernest came in and really shut down this potent Yuba offense. I mean, they have 10 home runs on the year. They didn't allow a dinger today, just that one triple that really killed him in the top of the 9th. And moving forward, there's a lot of positives coming from the Solano team right now.
Yeah, I like this lineup today. There was a lot of power, a lot of average on there, and the defense let them down in the late innings, but it was the familiar guys that we're used to seeing in the outfield that really let them down.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was very nice today getting to meet the crew. Brian, thank you for coming on, finally being back with us here in the booth.
Glad to be back.
You know, shout out to everybody, all our camera people, the people on the board did an excellent job once again. I'm Staj Zamoyda from my broadcast partners, Mike McLeod and Brian Nelson. Thank you guys for tuning into the Solano College Sports Network. We will be here on Friday to bring the next game to you, so hopefully tune in then. And until then, you guys have a good afternoon.